Can you hear me at all, Josh?
All right, welcome to the Drive the State show here. Josh Wilson here on the side, and there's Michael Reno, as we call him affectionately, Reno here.
That's what everyone knows me as. So Reno's
yes,
great.
Reno. Yes, indeed. Yes, we are back, and we are doing this tonight as one big show because you know what. Week 12, it was kind of just a little bit of a little bit of games, but not much to talk about in terms of that because the big thing to talk about is all the teams that made postseason are going to the playoffs, the FHSAA State Series here. And I know we had our big bracket analysis show on Saturday, but why not have another round of talking about it, a little bit more deep dive on this because now we know more of everything really what's going on. And actually, we're going to be bold and brave. I'm making picks on every single game. Marino's going to join me on that one. We're going to make picks on every single game here from the Rural Invitational Bracket all the way to 7A because it really is, it's a battle. This week, usually in the first round of the playoffs, it is a separation. It is to separate the contenders from the pretenders here in terms of the playoffs. And Emory, hey, my man, Emory Smith, he's like, hi, Josh and Reno. But, yep, good luck to every team, and it will be interesting.
What is up, Emory?
Yes, hey, Reno, nice haircut.
Thank you. Yeah.
There you go. There you go, buddy. Mark
Cleaned up.
Yes, absolutely. Cleaned up. And as we do this here tonight here, I know you notice it might look a little cleaned up, spiffy look. We've kind of made a little changes in the graphics here. Much better, easier flow with the graphics here as my associate editor, Christopher Like, kind of worked on this template. And now it looks even cleaner. Yes, indeed. Yes. Let me get that little round of applause up here. You know what? There you go.
Pat yourself on the back.
There you go. So, yes, indeed, we are here. We're going to go through all the playoffs here, the playoff brackets, and then actually in the middle of it, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go through Rural through 3A first. So we'll have Rural 1, 2, 3A. We're kind of go through that, make our picks here. Then right around 9 o'clock here, we're going to have Irish Bill from Irish Bill Sports join us from the Panhandle because we need to get a little bit more Panhandle perspective, because there are quite a few teams out in the Panhandle, especially when we come to the Rural classification. A lot of Panhandle teams are in it here. And yes, it is definitely one of those things, and we're going to be looking at. And Cedric McLeod says, "Good luck to every team, and better luck to Buchholz." Buchholz, oh man, man, oh man, oh man, wow, Which by the way, with the picks, I'm gonna actually make some state championship predictions too here tonight. I think
Getting bold, huh? Bold time.
I am going bold. I'm going bold here because it's either go bold or go home at this point. And I think this is for every team. It's either be bold and play hard, or go home because it's either you're going to be 1-0 or 0-1 here this week and the remaining weeks left. To Drive the State show, by the way, if we're our YouTube partner in the YouTube partner program, and we appreciate everybody's support here. And if you want to support, there in the comment box on YouTube, there's a little $sign. If you're watching the show afterwards, there's the super thanks right there that is on the bottom of the video player on YouTube, so you can hit that and click and check that out as well. But appreciate everybody joining us here as we are live here each and every Tuesday night with the Drive the State. We'll pick up more of the Blitz shows back once we get through this coming week here once the playoffs kind of start, because there'll be a lot to digest with the playoffs over this weekend. And I'm honestly be surprised. I won't not be surprised how many upsets there will be, because I feel like there's going to be a few. There's always a few in that first round, and we didn't see it coming.
That's right.
So with that said, all right, you know what? I got to get the music queued up here, because we do have to have the music regardless of how we're talking about this, because, like any other time we do the Blitz shows, usually we're doing the pick six, but this time it's not just a pick six, it's a playoff picks. And that's what we're going to do here in this situation. So here, let's get this thing started here. Yes. We're going to have some music here. We're going to have the music playing here for the night. And actually, let me make sure that I have the setting correct on this, so that way it just keeps playing. Hopefully it'll just keep playing, but otherwise I'll keep it going. But let's go through the Rural Invitational Bracket, because this is new this year. This is something new that they started doing. It's a test to see what's going to happen here, as we discussed Saturday. And this is what the first bracket looks like of the Rural Invitational Bracket. And 12 teams entered into the Invitational. 16 of the top 16 rural teams were into the state championship bracket. These teams, they had an option to opt out. So some teams did opt out, like Marathon and a couple others along the way. And looking at it, Baker first round bye here during with this, and then 8-9 seed Reno. We got Trenton hosting Sneeds in this 8-9 matchup. So honestly, what are you thinking here? We're going to make our picks here as we go, and we'll pop them up.
Well, Trenton had a strong end of the season, but welcome to playoff season. Like you said, it's win or go home. And I just don't think Trenton Tigers have enough to get through a home team with Sneeds and move on to the next round.
Oh,
so I want to go with Sneeds.
There we go. And as you heard Reno saying, I am going with Sneeds as well, because I feel like Trenton's just kind of been up and down here, up the chain here in terms of doing this. And let's see what we got in the picks. Why the division in rural? Okay, so they're Winston. Let's talk about this for a moment here. So this is a test by the FHSAA, and this was brought by the board of directors to the board of directors, and they agreed to do this test to see if this could work theoretically in changing the playoff system on just a slight tweak here, which basically would eliminate districts. But rural was already situated where they were not already didn't have districts, so this was a good classification to run this test. And so the top 16 teams would in rural are going to the state championship bracket. Then there's an invitational bracket that allows teams to continue their postseason if they so wish to do so. The idea that we go to the other classifications eventually along the way is that for 1A through 7A, it would be the top 32 teams split north-south. One be like potentially one seeded 1 through 16 north, 1 through 16 south, and let them play it out. And then also then have potentially an invitational bracket and sorts of stuff for those classifications as well. Let them have continuation of season and so forth. So again, this is just a test, see if it works over the next 2 years. It potentially could be an option for come 2026. So that's why the division right now in rural. And these teams here, the 12 teams that are a thing, they would not have made the top 16 in this bracket if they had been didn't have this invitational bracket. So these teams get to continue another week here into the season. By the way, I should mention that if you want to pick in this picks here, as Reno said, where's my pickers at? Come on, where are y'all at? Come on, if you want to pick on these games, roll them out here as we roll along here. here.
It's too quiet in the chat. Too quiet in the chat.
The chat is a little too quiet. Come on, guys. I know y'all are watching. Come on. Let's start the picks here because I know Mark. I know Mark usually picks here. So, but we'll see what happens here. So, oh, there he is. He's going Sneeds. He's rolling Sneeds here, Reno.
All right.
Oh, David Klosowski. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pop up the whole entire thing here, but he's like, can we discuss the financial burden on some of these rural schools that are going to have to deal with this because of the travel? I saw a local news story saying that's costing Chipley $12,000 to travel to Pahokee for their first playoff game. If this format extends to all classifications, it could create a huge financial burden on a lot of teams, especially in Northwest Florida. I wouldn't be surprised if you see school districts in Northwest Florida pull out the FHSAA. It's already very clear that, I can barely see all the comments. So let me pull up the rest of it. Let me go to the Facebook page here because it's on Facebook from what the comment is. That way I can see because it gets cut off. So if this format extends to all classifications, it could create a huge financial burden on a lot of teams, especially in Northwest Florida. It's already schools system favors the schools in the Central and South Florida. Well, the ranking system, we'll see what happens there. It really is interesting to see what's going to happen there. But honestly, I'll tell you, we're going to see how this plays out. Honestly, if you see this, they might do if they go to the rest of the classifications, you may see rural go north-south too, which I could see that maybe that might be something they might do here. 1 through 8 north, 1 through 8 south, and then go from there. But
it would make smarter to break it up. It would be.
It would be smarter. By the way, we got some other pickers coming in now. Austin Griffith says Sneeds over Trenton, Dixie over Weewa. So we're going to talk about Dixie and Weewa in a moment. Here, Mark Cannon says strong arming me for picks. Winston James is going all the way with Baker on the Baker all the way for the. Oh, he going all the way for the. Yeah, John Cooper, head coach John Cooper at Franklin County. He's like Franklin County against the world. Wow. By the way, Coach, congratulations. That is awesome for y'all. Yes, indeed. And John, Coach is like saying, thank you, Coach. Thank you, guys. All right, let's get into our next game here as the comments are rolling in here. They're firing off now, finally, here this evening. Mm-hmm. All right, Dixie County hosting Weewa Hitchcock, number 12, Weewa Hitchcock, number 5, Dixie County. Boy, you know what? Both teams, Weewa 2 and 8, Dixie County 4 and 6, as you see there on the screen there, Reno. I mean, honestly, I like to think Dixie County is going to win this one, in my opinion.
No, I agree. I think Dixie will keep rolling with that number 5 seed. I mean, they're in a good spot right in the middle. You get some great competition, but, you could be Baker, Dixie at the end here. We never know.
No, you're absolutely right. And we're going to pop those picks up there on the screen here. And sure enough, there you go. I'm going Dixie County as well here. So, I mean, yes, it's really honestly, I'd like to see how the margin, my biggest question about all this is going to be is the margin of victory. The margin of victory, what does it come out to be in this? And we've got some other ones here as we're rolling along here. So we haven't gotten to the Rural State Championship bracket yet, Christopher W. I see your pick there. So just hold on here for a hot minute here as we roll along here. But we will get to your pick there on that one because that's in the state championship bracket. Willie Van Kelly saying he's saying Trenton are winner on Friday. He thinks that Dixie got that, but gone versus Jefferson. Ooh. That could be an interesting one. And Mark Cannon says there's a good buffet in Grass.
Making sure we fed, that's for sure.
He's talking food here. Come on, Mark. Thanks for doing that.
I had to DoorDash my food tonight because I'm on the road. So
yes.
I appreciate the food comment.
My fiance Jenny, she's taking Dixie here, and it says why Taylor County Class 2A but not Madison. That's for another show for another day about the numbers there in terms of that. But let's roll into the bottom half of the bracket here of the Rural Invitational Bracket here as we do this. We've got Port St. Joe, Franklin County. Both teams are on a bye this week as they got the 2 and 3 seeds. So Wildwood will be hosting Hamilton County in this one, and Hamilton County they've had a couple of close games here where they could have potentially won those this year, but Wildwood, my gut tells me to go Wildwood here, Reno, and that's where I'm kind of leaning towards here.
Yeah, I don't think the road really matters to Wildwood at this point. They're just going to come up, win, and go home and continue on.
And that's where it's at. Reno says Wildwood going on, and we're both going Wildwood, it seems like here. And that's what comes up here on the pick here in that number 10, number 7 slot game there. And the comments are finally heating up here. So let's roll this. And Winston, Marathon opted out because of financial reasons. They said several of the schools, like 6 of them, opted out because of the financial considerations for the Invitational. So that's what they decided to do. And because Austin Griffiths is saying going Wildwood, Davis Kozlowski is taking Wildwood and Fort Meade in this bracket. Mark Cannon is going with the Wildcats as well. So, wow. So far, we are 3 for 3 in our picks here in the Rural Invitational. Let's roll along with this next one here, which will be number 11, Taylor out of Pearson. They're in the northwest corner of Volusia County, going to Fort Meade. Both teams have had their struggles this year, but when it comes to scheduling, I feel like Fort Meade has just been light years ahead in terms of that scheduling part, and I feel like the scheduling for Fort Meade and the tough games they have played will play a big hand in taking down Pearson Taylor in this 6-11 matchup here in the Rural Invitational. That is where I am leaning towards.
I'm going to go the same way because you're right. That 2 and 7 doesn't say a lot. It's just a paper number, but the games they played, the experience they've got, it's going to help them roll along through this.
No, I feel like that's the key here. And as we roll along with Fort Meade here, we're going to pull that up here with Fort Meade. Yes, indeed. Those are our picks with Fort Meade and that one. So we're kind of 4 for 4 in the Rural Invitational here. So let's roll into the state championship bracket here. As we do that, we're going to go into the World Class State Championship bracket where it is seeded 1 through 16 straight through. And let's start with number 16, Branford, hosting number 1, Hawthorne. We'll talk about that in a moment here as we roll through some of the picks here. Austin Griffiths is going Fort Meade. Mark Cannon, Fort Meade. Jonathan Ferris taking Fort Meade, not sure, though. Emery Williams is saying Fort Meade may have only had 2 wins, but they played a tough schedule, which is exactly what we were leaning on right there. Nully, hey, Nully's here, finally in the show here. He's saying the Miners will strike gold. And Mike Reno is saying, Nully, welcome. Yes, we are glad Nully is here. All right, let's talk about this. Hawthorne, Branford. I honestly tell you right now, Branford has not played the schedule that Hawthorne has played. Let's just say that is going to be, in my opinion, no contest. I am rolling with the Hornets in this one pretty soundly.
Yeah, after watching, some of the Branford tape and just if they come out, they're going to come out weak, and Hawthorne is very strong in that D line up front. They'll control the clock. They'll control the game. Hawthorne wins.
No, absolutely.
Handling.
Yeah, Hawthorne. And I think everybody in the chat is going Hawthorne. Jonathan's going Hawthorne. Austin's going Hawthorne. Willie is going Hawthorne. David Kozlowski is saying Hawthorne, Cottondale, Chief J in the bracket here. So he's putting all his picks up already. Mark Cannon is about time Nully's here again, and Mark Cannon's going Hawthorne. So we are having a lot of fun here already, and we're only into the rural bracket here. So let's roll along to our next game in the rural here. We've got Mayo, Lafayette, Cottondale. This is a great 8-9 matchup, in my opinion. And honestly, I feel like that 9-0 record, it's a little deceiving because I don't think like Cottondale has played the schedule that maybe Lafayette has. And part of my gut tells me to roll Lafayette here in this situation. But, you may have a different answer. We'll see.
No, I'm going to stick with Lafayette on this one. Again, ththese are on paper. It looks 9-0 and it looks strong, but once you dig in and look at it, the stats, Lafayette has the edge on this one.
Yeah, I agree. Lafayette has the edge. I believe you on this one here. We're going to put that pick up here, and I'm going Lafayette. Reno is going Lafayette here as well. And I have already noticed in the chat here, honestly, Reno, is that it looks like everybody is leaning towards Mayo as well on this one here. I feel like that is what it sounds like here. And, John Rugg says Cottondale gets upset by Lafayette. So he's going Hawthorne as well. Austin Griffith says Mayo ends Cottondale's perfect season. Jonathan Ferris is going Mayo. Curtis Watson's going Mayo. Winston James is going Mayo. LS Hull's going Mayo. Everybody's going Lafayette here. Man, some people think. Someone thinks Branford's going to upset on Hawthorne. Ooh. Ooh, rolling the dice. Mark Cannon's going Hornets, and Nully's going, what's going Hawthorne? What did we beat Hawthorne?
Down.
Well, then I might have to eat some proverbial crow. I don't know.
I'd be very happy if they beat Hawthorne. It's not that we are saying it'd be good or bad. It's just it'd be a very huge upset, and which will rock the world come Friday night.
All right, our next matchup on the docket here, Reno. Let's talk about this one here that we've got here. We've got Williston and Chiefland rematch of week 1, people. Woo, is Williston out for some revengeance, but Chiefland, they have gotten stronger as the season rolls on, and honestly, I know they say it's hard to beat the same team twice in one season, but my opinion is this. I'm sorry, Williston. I think you're one and done this year, in my opinion.
Not so fast, Josh.
Oh,
old school rivalry here, going back to my days with Chiefland being 2A and all of us being in the 3A district, playing Chiefland for a preseason game. I mean, playing Chiefland for preseason. So I think Williston can come out with the upset with the right game plan, the right coaching, and it can be done. So I'm going to go Williston with the upset on this one.
Wow. All right. We're our first pick that we have not agreed on so far here tonight here. So that is what it says here. We got the comments rolling, firing off. I mean, here we go. Jenny was saying she was going for Cottondale on that last pick that we made here. Austin Griffin says it's hard to beat a team twice, but Chiefland has momentum after beating Union County. Give me the Indians over Williston. Mark Cannon's going Chiefland all day and night. Jonathan Ferris says Chiefland wins this one. Tyler Kelly says Williston wins the rematch. Carson Poindexter, he was going for Mayo in that last matchup that we talked about here. Emery Williams says Chiefland versus Williston should be an interesting rematch. Chiefland should be the favorite, but rematches are always tough, and I know Williston really wants to revenge that week 1 loss. Yes, indeed. And Christopher W says Chiefland over Williston again. Jenny is going Chiefland. John Brock, Chiefland. Ellis Hall, it could be Tyler Kelly, Williston, but close. Yes, that could be interesting as we go. Let's talk about Jay and Fort White. Fort White making all of the long trip to northern end of Santa Rosa County, so a long 5 to 6 hour bus trip for the Fort White Indians, playing a really good J team, their best season in years since Elijah Bell was the head coach there. Since we're talking mid to late 2000s is worth how far back we have to go to see that. But the biggest question I have for Jay is their strength of schedule here, as Austin Griffiths is going to bring up here. He's allowed to say, hey, Jay has a special season, but Fort White has a special strength of schedule. So he's already picking Fort White here in this situation here. But Reno, where are you thinking this one? Because I'm kind of torn on this one. This one's hard for me on this one.
This one is hard because Fort White traditionally has done pretty well. You know, they make it to the playoffs and they have a pretty good season. And that strength of schedule where they're sitting makes a difference in that whole area to look at. Jay had a pretty remarkable season this year. It's something that's newer to them, but it could prolong and go through. I think experience outweighs the new, and I think Fort White on the upset.
You know, and this is where my thing is because usually it's hard for teams to make those 5-6 hour road trips after the Panhandle, especially when you have to deal with a time zone change. But my thing is this, Jay, it's been great, but I think you're going to find out that I'm Team Fort White this week because I lean on what Reno is saying. It's the experience, and I think a lot of the chat is actually agreeing with us on this one here. Is that some people are going for Jay, but Austin Griffiths did say, I'll bring back up the comment here. He's going Fort White, but Tyler Kelly's going for Jay here. Ellis Hall thinks the Jay's going to roll the Indians, but I say not so fast, my friend, in the words of Lee Corso. Winston James thinks Jay wins easily. I'm not sure. I lean on that strength of schedule that Fort White has rolled. John Brock says Jay, very good Jay team, so he's running towards Jay, but Jenny is rolling to Fort White. Curtis Watson is rolling with Fort White. Jonathan Ferris says, I'm saying Jay wins this one by a field goal. Ooh, that'd be interesting. And, hey, Jenny agrees with you, Reno, so there you go. Mark Cannon, I like Fort White's band. I'm taking Fort White. Oh, he's taking a pick on the band.
That's the way to pick it. Who's got the better band? I like it.
Yeah, Mayo says almost beat Fort White, so I think that Jay will beat them in the end. But the question is, as Jay played the strength of schedule that Fort White has, we'll see what happens there. I don't agree there that I feel like that Fort White's strength of schedule is going to come in handy here with that one. Jay has one of the best QBs in the Panhandle. Jay wins, but no love for the Panhandle. Oh, come on, Curtis. I do have love for the Panhandle teams. It's just it's on the other side of the bracket here that we're going to get some Panhandles love here. Just hold on. And Jenny's like, yes, Mark, yes. Yeah, we got to have the band. Good football in the Panhandle. Yes, no, I don't disagree because we will be talking about Panhandle teams, and we got Irish Bill coming on after right around 9 o'clock here. So we're going to talk about that here. But let's roll this here with our next pick here as we go into this one.
Remember, everyone, I'm North Florida, baby. I'm North Florida over here. That's
all
who I
right.
Represent.
All right. So with that said, let's get into the other side of this bracket. The 2-15 matchup, Madison County hosting Moorhaven. Honestly, Madison County, hands down, in my opinion, strength of schedule out the door against Moorhaven. I have to roll with the Cowboys here, and in the progress of getting back to the state championship game, maybe a potential rematch once again with Hawthorne.
Mm-hmm.
So,
totally agree.
Are you feeling with the Cowboys too here?
I'm feeling the Cowboys. At least a Cowboy team can do something.
Yeah, no, that's interesting to see that. What's going to happen here? Let me get the music restarted there. All right, so Reno is going Madison County, and let's see, the chat is firing away here. I think everybody's going. Said Austin Griffin's going Madison. Tyler Kelly is going Madison County. Mark Cannon, same thing. Jonathan is going the same way. Winston, I think everybody's going Madison here in the chat, but Ryan Hardy said, "Ooh." That's gonna burn. That's gonna burn. Ryan Hardy saying Moorhaven should just stay home. Let me go. Purdy Bird saying Madison gonna win it all. And let's see. LOL Reno and Josh missed. What? I missed a joke. I missed a joke. What?
I forgot what I said. You have to remind us, Jenny. I don't even remember what I said now.
That's a long road trip for Moorhaven from the Glades County all the way up to Yes, it is. It is a very long trip. Yes, go ahead.
The Cowboys. I said at least a Cowboy team is doing something.
Oh, right. Yes, because we know the Dallas Cowboys are not doing anything. And Ellis Hall says Cowboys head them up and move them out. John Brock going the same way. Curtis Watson going, all right, going with the Madison County. There you go. So let's roll with our next pick here. Rito, Scylla Christian 10-0 at hosting Bluntstown, who's 7-3, and honestly, that Scylla Christian 10-0 record. Congratulations to Colby Roberts for that win for going 10-0. But that 10-0 comes at a cost, and that is your strength of schedule, which is definitely much lower than Bluntstown's. And I said, I'm interested to see how Scylla Christian does here with Bluntstown in this 7-10 matchup. But my gut tells me go Bluntstown or go home because. Otherwise, I just don't see it with this one, Scylla coming away, especially with the schedule that Bluntstown has played compared to Scylla Christian here. Reno, how are you feeling here on this one?
I'm looking at the Bluntstown strength of schedule right now, and I think I agree. The losses they had were pretty bad losses, but they were two really good teams, and the wins were complete blowouts. So I think on this one, I think Bluntstown has the better experience to keep moving on through the bracket.
No, absolutely agree. And the chat's already firing off here. And why isn't a Scylla? Oh, let's see here. But let's see. Let me roll here. Okay, hold on. The chat's moving quickly here, so I'm trying to keep up here. It's been a nice season of Scylla Christian, but I'm picking Bluntstown. No disrespect to Scylla 10-0 should be celebrated. However, the SOS is one of the worst in the state. I have Bluntstown. And Mark Cannon said, why is Scylla in the upper bracket? Well, there's your answer. It's the strength of schedule. That's why they're not in the upper part of this with the bracket here. So that tells you right there. Ellis, I think rumor is Neon Dion could go to talking about Deion Sanders. Bluntstown, 1-score game. Tyler's going with that. Winston James is going with the same thing. John Brock, Zachary Hallback. Ellis Hall. Mark Cannon says, just drunk posted on that. You guys are killing me here. You're killing me, Smalls.
The lime in the coconut.
Ryan Hardy says, Bluntstown wins a trip to Boot Hill. Well, yeah. Congratulations to whoever wins that game because that's where you're headed next week is Boot Hill. All right, Matt, Holmes County, but at Union County, You know what? Holmes County, I like what they've done, but again, I'm Union County. That win over Chiefland is still firing them off, and I have to roll with these Union County Tigers here, in my opinion.
Yeah, they only disappointed me once, and that's the one. So I'm going back to Union County, and I think they can make a play, make a run.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with you. I have a feeling the chat is going to agree with us on our picks here, Reno. And as we pop that pick here up on the screen here, the chat is firing off here. Tyler, wow, they're going Union County. Jonathan, Ryan, Winston, there. Oh, yeah. Austin says Holmes is a sneaky, but unfortunately they got a bad draw. I don't think they have the firepower to hang with Union. And Ellis Hall is going with UC. John Brock, UC. Mark Cannon, the same thing. Union County, and he's saying Holmes County and Chipley. We're talking about both of those teams there, and yes. And then Curtis Watson saying Union County as well. So we've got a lot of people going with Union County here. And our last game in this rural bracket is Chipley going all the way to Pahokee. And I think, honestly, when we talk about long road trips, this is even longer than for Fort White to Jay. This is going to be at least a good 7-hour bus trip. Some of that on the Florida Turnpike. Honestly, it'll take a prayer and a miracle for Chipley to come away with this in this draw here. And honestly, I think Pahokee just rolls with this one here, just because unless Chipley breaks this trip up over a couple of days, I don't see it happening.
One thing you guys are going to learn, and gals are going to learn, I'm a big Pahokee fan, so I'm going Pahokee all the way here.
All right, you hear it from my man Reno here saying Pahokee. I'm rolling with Pahokee as well here in this one here, because honestly, there's just no way that it can just go the other. There's just no way. I mean, if Chipley gets it, it'll be really, really huge for them. But Winston James says going Chipley ends it in the muck. Mark Cannon's going Pahokee. Tyler Kelly. Ryan Hardy, the same way. Muck babies forever. There you go, Reno.
Muck babies.
Chipley is going to get jet lag. Ooh, man.
Yeah,
that could be basically like jet lag. There you go. Pahokee rolls in this one, Jonathan is saying. Emery Williams-Smith, long trips for some of these Class World teams, and you're right. And Pahokee for Ellis Hall. Zachary Hallback going Pahokee. Chipley's leaving Thursday. So, all right. Nice, smart move. That might help them.
Very smart. Yeah, very
smart. Mayo beat Chipley 48-7. I'm going with Pahokee. Ooh, Reno has Muck between his toes.
and that's why you'll never catch me.
And it's a shame that the World Class can't do regional play like everyone else. Well, they did regional play. This is something new again, but I suspect that we may see a north-south situation coming next year, depending on how the teams fare with this one. But Finn Moore says, let's go Devils. So there you go. That is what we've got with the 1A, with the rural bracket. Let's roll into this 1A bracket here. Yes, indeed. We're going to roll into the 1A bracket here. Let me bring that banner down here from the rural, because we've got our picks picked in. Let's go into the first game in Region 1. We're now into where it's the 4 regions per classification now. Trinity Catholic will be hosting the number 1 seed Providence in Ocala. So Trinity Catholic 2-8, district champs there. Providence 7-3 just missed out on the district championship, and I pointed this out as a game to watch here. And honestly, my opinion, Reno, Providence, Trinity Catholic, I have a feeling that Trinity Catholic may be one and done here in this situation, just because some of the harder games that they have played this year, they have come out not a good in, and that also includes a big L given out by Newberry here towards the end of the regular season. So that's where I lean on this one in terms of I feel like Providence will take the win here.
And it's another thing to have 2 wins and still be district champion, right? That's just kind of odd at that juncture. So yeah, Providence is definitely going to be able to run that through and just keep going.
Yep, and as I pull it up here on the picks here, we're going to put that, and I'll pull it up on the screen here as we get that. The comments are already firing off. Did you say I froze? I haven't frozen, actually. We're still here. We're still here. So, World Class, Austin Griffith says World Class is the guinea pig. Yes, World Class is the guinea pig to that with the test here. So, a lot of people from Chile. Oh man, y'all got the comments tonight. All right. The video's frozen. I don't. Oh, hold on a second. We're having a trouble. It's Yep, we're having a trouble on YouTube.
Oh no,
We're having trouble with the YouTube. Yeah. We're not sure what's going on. Yeah. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let's see. Continue. Let's see what we can do here. We can't get YouTube back up here because I don't know what's going on, why we're having trouble with YouTube here. I don't understand what's going on here. Yeah, not frozen on the Facebook or, yeah. I don't know why we're having this issue here. Yeah.
looks like it's just the YouTube servers, Josh.
Yeah, it looks like we're having trouble here. It looks like YouTube servers have had. Yeah, hold on 1 second as I'm trying to type into the chat here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm taking a look into it real quick here as we roll here because I'm trying to do this. It's again, we're not sure what happened here. I'm going to see what's going on, why our show is all of a sudden frozen. I don't know why here. Yeah, I see that we have the last comment. We're put the bracket up, but it's showing frozen, and I don't know why we're trying to think. Let me see if I can't get it to fire back up here. Hold on. No, we're not going to delete off of YouTube here. We're going to pull the destination, and we're going to try to see if I can't get YouTube back up and running here. Let's see if I can't get it back up here. All right, let's see if we can't get this going here. All right, let's see if we got it back up here. We might have it back up. He said, let's see. Let's see if we can't get it back up here on the YouTube. I've had to force it. I've had to push force it here. Let's see if it comes back up. Yeah, it says we're having a trouble streaming to YouTube. This may be an issue on YouTube's end. We'll keep trying. I'll let you know if it's resolved. So, guys, again, I apologize. Come over to Facebook or X. For some reason, we have lost YouTube. We have totally lost YouTube. Sure what is going on, but it is YouTube.
I think we're back.
Are we back on YouTube? That is the next question. Because I cannot. Nope. I had to pull it.
It's relaunching now.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see if it's relaunching here. We'll get it back up here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not sure what's going on with YouTube, why we're having this issue here. Yeah. All right, let's try to get back on track here. I'm sorry, guys. We're going to have to roll here. We don't want to be on too far behind, but Providence at Trinity Catholic here. I think we were agreeing with Providence here on this one. So let's pull up the comments here. So let's see. Everybody's looking like, yeah, we've had a malfunction with the YouTube server. So let's talk about that. Let's Trinity Catholic here. Sorry, guys. And it says, yep, the UFOs are at it again. I know we had so many people going on. Let me see if I can't get this to connect up here. Why we're waiting? It says it's waiting on us on our end. So let me see if I'm doing this here, Reno. Let's talk about the other games here. We've got here. So we've got more games here. We've got Impact Christian at University Christian. This game, University Christian won pretty solid handily here in the regular season here, and I feel like University Christian's going to do it again here, honestly, and I feel like they're going to take the victory here in this one.
No, I totally agree. I think you're right on this one. Again, when it comes to these playoff brackets, you're going to hear a lot of me say this a lot tonight. Numbers are numbers, and they're just paper items, right? You've got to go back and look at how they did throughout the season, and this is one of those scenarios that University Christian will pull through and keep going on.
No, absolutely. And if this continues, what we were trying to do is we're trying to just get the thing. So, but I'm going with University Christian in this one. And Reno, you heard Reno going, he's going the same way as well on this one. And Again, it's a little frustrating that we don't have our YouTube because that's where we got the most going on with YouTube is that part right there. And again, thank you for everybody for understanding, switching over while we try to figure out what the heck is going on with YouTube here. Reno, did that stream pop back up on for you?
I'm not getting anything yet. I'm sorry, Bubba.
No, that's what I'm kind of wondering because it says it's connected, it's there, but it's like it must be YouTube. You know what? Okay, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. I noticed what's going on. He was able to chat into the box there, which connected back to the show here. It looked like here, but honestly, it is something with YouTube's connection. I think YouTube had a magic thing. I'm gonna have to take a look at that here at some point here. But someone says Trinity. We're not got the Trinity Christian yet. So Trinity Catholic University Christian, what Winston James is going with here. So let's talk about the next game on our slate here. We've got PK Young at Trinity Christian, and honestly, good job for PK Young. 5 wins, you get in the playoffs here, but honestly, you could not get through. You may need to relaunch. Yeah, it shows that it's not on, Reno. Yeah, that's what I don't know. I keep pushing for it to get it back on here, so let me see if I can't get it to fire off here, but let me see. Let me remove it off the platform and then add it back on. Let me see if I can't get it to go that way. That may be what I need to do there. See what I can't get it. See if I can't get it to fire off. Check it and see if it actually is firing off. I've got a green check now here, but let's see what happens here. Hopefully, maybe by me removing it and then taking it back out, we were getting actually. Yeah, we'll try during a water break and see if we can't get it reconnected. But let's go. You know, the thing. I honestly, Reno, with Trinity Christian, PK Young. Congratulations, PK Young. Good season here. But Trinity Christian is just a whole nother animal in terms of experience, and PK Young does not have it. We saw that as a result against Trinity Catholic when they lost. Trinity Catholic came in with only 1 win and they blew them out. And honestly, I feel like it's Trinity Christian's just going to roll over here.
And I agree. I just think the offense is too strong. PK Young, great season, but at the end of it, it just kind of fell apart for him.
No, absolutely. And we're going to roll with Trinity Christian here with our pick here. And then our next pick in the last one in the Class 1A Region 1 here, we got McClay and St. John Paul II out of Tallahassee. This is a rematch, district rematch here. And St. John Paul II won that one to get the district championship here. That's why St. John Paul II is hosting McClay in this situation, despite the fact McClay is a 3 seed. This one's going to be a tough one. But honestly, my feeling here is I roll McClay here as a pick here to win this game here. What are you feeling, Reno?
I'm kind of stuck because, again, these numbers are numbers, right? But I think on this one, it's going to be an underdog challenge. I'm going to go with St. Paul on this one.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you hear Reno. He's going with SJP to second. Oh, so there you go. The picks there as we roll along there. Okay, into our next bracket here in Class 1A, Region 2. If I can get it to go. There we go. Oh, wait a second. Region 3. It skipped ahead of me on that one. There we go. All right, Clearwater Central Catholic here, hosting Holy Trinity, who got in thanks to the situation with First Academy here. But I feel like this one's just going to be no contest. It's going to be CCC's night all the way through, probably 50-plus points, I feel like, in this situation.
Number one is number one for a reason. That's why they got the seed.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where you're saying that. And number one is number one, indeed. And this is a situation where it's like that. Unlike the other side where we saw that in Region 1, this is going to be no contest in that bracket here. All right. Rematch of district foes here. Carrollwood Day at Victory Christian. Carrollwood Day took the district. Victory Christian hosting Carrollwood Day hosting Victory Christian, I should say. And honestly, Carrollwood's day strength of schedule compared to the other two teams, in my opinion, that's where it feels like it goes here. And as I pull up some of the picks that others have made, Reno, what are you thinking here?
No, I think on this one, Victory Christian with the at-large, they're just going to I think they're going to have the out-coach, and they have the advantage right here with the way they're set up and where they came into this. So I think they kind of come in and take Carrollwood out in the first round.
Wow. All right. So you're going Victory here. And you know what? I am for Team Carrollwood. So we're going opposites here on this one. So here, because I feel like I feel like just the strength of schedule here, honestly, is what's the big difference here in this one here. So, yes. I'm trying to. We're gonna take a water break after we do this 1A bracket here. We're trying to get through them here, but let's try to get through this here as we go, and we'll try to see if we can't get that YouTube to relaunch here at some point here. And maybe YouTube's in again. We'll see what's happening here. But Lakeland Christian going to Crescent City in the 2-7 spot. Crescent City 8-2 on the season, but some opinion weaker teams than maybe what Lakeland Christian has, and I feel like this is going to be for Lakeland Christian to win. Everything's in Lakeland Christian's ball court to not or ballpark or ball field, I should say, to not lose this game, and I feel like Lakeland Christian is just going to roll with this one here.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I mean, yeah, you see an 8-2, you see a 1A5 champion, but again, that ranking and that strength of schedule, that number 2 is number 2 for a reason, and I think they just roll on.
No, absolutely. So Reno's going to step aside here in just a moment here for a moment here. So that's probably when we'll take the water break here when as he rolls here for a moment. Yes, Reno's on the road. But we're going to roll as long as we can here. And we got some other picks coming in here. Predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Rematches are always tough, but can be unpleasant. But I go with Carrollwood Day. So I see Lakeland Christian is ranked ahead of Carrollwood Day despite losing to them. Ooh, yeah, you're right. Jonathan Ferris, Lakeland Christian close to accurate. And then some people are going Victory. So you got some people in your camp, Reno, where without Victory Christian picks. But our last pick in this region is Melbourne Central Catholic and Orlando Christian Prep, 8-3. Orlando Christian Prep 4-5. Melbourne Central Catholic won the district after First Academy had to make the forfeit. So honestly, I feel like MCC, this one's going to be pretty easy for them because they took care of Orlando Christian Prep earlier this year, and I feel like they're going to do it again here.
Yeah, they already have the tape. They already know how to handle. They already know how to play defense again. So it's just going to be another day at the office for MCC.
No, absolutely here, and I feel like Reno, you gotta bolt here for a moment here, and then we'll all right. Reno's gonna bolt there for a moment here. So when Reno's back, we're gonna come back on the screen with him, but we're gonna take a water break here real quick here, and then we'll come back and we'll do Class 1A Region 3 and Region 4, and then we'll get into 2A. We'll get set for Irish Bill to talk to him about some panhandle teams as well. But Jonathan Thayer saying Melbourne Central Catholic here, Winston James sitting here as well, Melbourne Central Catholic. We will do this. We will come back and we will take a water break and then come back here and see if we can't get the YouTube stream going back up as well here. We'll be right back here on the Drive the State show here on FortHSFootball.com and the FortHSFootball.com social media networks. We'll be right back right after this. right, welcome back here to the Drive the State show here. Got Reno back on here. I'm trying to see if we can't connect here. Okay, so I'm trying to work on seeing if I can bypass the what it is here is the it's trying to go through a certain way here with YouTube and see if I can't get it to kick back on. What we're trying to do is try to see if it will kick on at all. And it's really kind of giving us a big fit here. And I'm not sure exactly why we're having this issue here, but I'm trying to put it into the where it's basically setting up as the custom link here is what they're doing. But I'm trying to see if it'll let me go. See if it'll let me get this going here and see if I can't get it to kick here. And let's see if that'll. Let me see if I can't get it to kick here on this one here. If it's not, then there's something else going on that's beyond our capacity here. And it sounds like that it could potentially be a YouTube issue that is not wanting to not being friendly with us tonight here with our streaming software at all. So not exactly sure it was a thing, but so let's try to roll this here as we roll along here with the next part of this here, and we'll get back into this here. Hopefully the YouTube part will actually fire up here. Hopefully it will fire back up here, but nope, it is telling me it is not wanting to take at all. So I apologize again to everybody who has been watching on YouTube. I am so sorry. I am so sorry about this, but we're going to see what has happened here. I can't stop the show because if I stop the show on all platforms and come out, it will cut off everybody. So we've got 2 streams going. I don't want to cut those off in this situation here, so we're just going to have to roll with it. And what I'll do is on the YouTube side later on, I will take and I will upload the video from this show onto YouTube itself later on. So again, I apologize to everybody that's been watching here tonight, hoping to be watching on YouTube, but we're going to be rolling along here. So again, apologize to everybody for that, but let's roll into this one, the Region 3 bracket. We got Evangelical Christian traveling to Cardinal Newman. I think this one's no contest here after seeing Cardinal Newman here a couple weeks ago. And honestly, I feel like it's going to be, it's a no contest in my opinion. How are you feeling, Reno, on this one?
No, I agree. I think Cardinal Newman is very strong, and I think they have a very, very solid chance of running this bracket.
No, absolutely here. And as we pull up the picks here, we're going Cardinal Newman here, and if you got your picks here, roll them into the chat here. Again, apologize for everybody trying to tune into YouTube here. We've already announced it that we're having issues here with that. So in case you see anybody on the YouTube channel, send them over to Facebook or X/Twitter here. So we're both going Cardinal Newman in this one here, and then keep on going. Yep, that's what we're going to do, Winston. We're just going to keep on going. Jonathan Vera says Cardinal Newman. So if you got your picks, keep rolling here. Again, I apologize to everybody that was participating here. We've lost some people. Maybe too many people were on YouTube. I don't know. But
there was a lot, unfortunately.
There was a lot. So, well, we're going to roll with Cardinal Newman here with our pick here. Let's roll into our next pick here. How about this one? St. John Newman Community School at Naples. 2 teams in the Naples area that have battled each other here in district play. And Community School of Naples will be hosting St. John Newman in this 4-5 matchup here. And this one's a coin toss in my opinion. But my heart leans towards CSN to pick the win here. Where are you thinking, Reno?
Yeah, we had to do the shoe flip on this one, and the cleat went back that way as well. We're going to go CSN on this one.
All right. As you hear that, we are going with CSN for our pick here to beat St. John Newman in this one. Up next, we have First Baptist hosting Southwest Florida Christian. Honestly, the strength of schedules are very vastly different between these 2 teams here. And honestly, it's going to be a wide gap. And honestly, I expect the margin of victory to be at least 28 to 35 points in this one in favor of First Baptist. And that's where that's where my pick is going. Reno, where are you going with this one?
No, I think I'm going to stick with that too. I mean, being the champion versus that large makes a big difference. Hence why they're number 2. And so we're going to stick with First Baptist on this one.
Oh, absolutely. In this 3-6 matchup, this is real interesting. Benjamin 4-5, Northside Christian 5-5, Northside Christian and district champ, but they will be hosting Benjamin. And honestly, when it comes to scheduling, These two teams it's night and day here. I mean, Northside Christian has played a couple tough games, but Benjamin, they usually have stacked their schedule with tough games, and that's what they did this year. And my leaning goes to the Benjamin Buccaneers in this one here for a big W.
Again, numbers are numbers, but they're ranked 3 for a reason when it comes to it. So Benjamin all the way.
So there you go. We're going Benjamin on those picks there, and we got some picks coming here. Jonathan Ferris says Community School Naples for his pick on that one. CNN, Cardinal Newman might win the whole crap, but but Chaminade will be a tough at the final. Well, you'd be right. It could be a matchup of those two teams in the state championship game when things get reseeded. So, Winston James says First Baptist is going to face Benjamin. Yeah, you're right. That's you're probably right on that one. They'll face them in that regional semifinal, and Winston James says Benjamin's good. Yes, and then Jonathan Ferris says Benjamin as well. So. There you go with Benjamin there across the board here. And as we're going to roll along here to our 1A Region 4 bracket here, and then we're getting ready to set up for Irish Bill Hamill. We will talk about playoff Panhandle picks, the Panhandle games for the playoffs here coming up here in just a moment here. But let's get 1A Region 4 out of the way, and then we'll do the rest of the classifications after our interview of Irish Bill here. So let's do this one here. Miami Edison at Somerset Academy Key. Somerset Academy Key at Miami Edison. It's a at-large versus at-large situation here for those two teams here. And honestly, I feel like for these two teams here, Reno, it comes down to did I miss the pick here? Wait a second. What did I happen here? Hold on.
You did. You went to the bottom, but it's all right.
I went to the bottom. Let's go to the start at the top. St. John Paul II at Chaminade Madonna. This one, I feel like, honestly, I started at the bottom and went to stay. So there you go. It's already been a night here, but let's go talk about St. John Paul II and Chaminade Madonna first here. And honestly, I think this is it's Chaminade's game. They're just going to roll here. I feel like they're going to be the team that wins the state championship game anyways.
I was going to take my Nick out and say it too. I think Chaminade is number 1 to win the bracket in the state here. I hope we're right on this, that they do run all the way, because that would be a very, very great end to their season.
Yes, absolutely. Jonathan Ferris says, go Chaminade wins big. Yes, and Winston James saying the same thing here. All right, we got St. Andrews hosting Archbishop Carroll. It's in the 4-5 matchup. Archbishop Carroll, a district champ, 6-4. St. Andrews also the same thing, 5-5 district champ here. It's a coin toss. It is a true proverbial coin toss here, and my pick goes with rolling with the home team just because, Archbishop Carroll's got to travel about an hour and a half to 2 hours up to I-95 because you know how it is. It's South Florida traffic. So, what are you thinking, Reno?
That I don't like South Florida traffic. I had to deal with it tonight. That's for sure. But with that said, I'm sticking with St. Andrews on this one.
All right, we're going with St. Andrews for the win here with the pick here. St. Andrews for the W. All right, True North at Palmer Trinity. Yeah, it's True North at large Palmer Trinity, the 1A 16 champion. But honestly, the schedule that those two teams have played, honestly, it's night and day. And honestly, my pick is going to True North on this one because it is no contest in terms of when you start to stack the strength of schedule here. Palmer Trinity. Thanks for playing along. Oh, wait, I froze up there for some reason. Can you still see? You got me, Reno?
And now you're back. Yes.
It's all of a sudden, it says my internet now is all of a sudden unstable. So I don't know why it's going on. Our internet service provider here. But what was you before saying that? What were you going with, Reno, on this?
I'm going to go. We're on True North still, right? So I'm going to go with True North. Yeah.
All right. True North for the pick here. And that's where we're leaning at. True North for those.
I'm sorry. My compass tells me to go True North. So that's the way it will go.
I like that. That's a good one. All right. Then we were talking about the Somerset Academy Key in the playoffs for the first time, going to Miami Edison at large. But honestly, There's a guy named Uncle Luke down there, the head coach at Miami Edison, and I'm just going to roll with Uncle Luke's team with the Red Raiders here. There's no question. Yeah, I mean, Somerset Academy T has not played the schedule of Miami Edison. They wish they had played Miami Edison's schedule. So I'm rolling with Miami Edison in this one.
I go with Unk, man. If you got a guy named Unk running the thing, we got to go with Unk.
Yep, got to go with Uncle Luke there. So we're gonna bring the music down here. Reno's going to go take a little quick break here. I'm going to bring Irish Bill on here in a moment. We're going to take a 2-minute water break again. We're sorry about the YouTube side here. We're going to bring this up here with the picks, actually. We got someone's like Winston James says Palmer Trinity's tough at home. Ooh. And Winston James going with St. Andrews. Jonathan Ferris going with Archbishop Carroll. And Henry Smith says, I don't like South Florida traffic either. Oh, man, yes. Yes, indeed. Jonathan was taking True North, and yeah, okay, yeah. It said my internet was all of a sudden unstable for some reason, so I'm trying to understand what happened there. But anyways, we're back, and yes, and then yes, Reno says he's in Boca, so he's not happy. I know how it is, right? Especially right there along I-95 and right there with the Glades, the Glades Road exit there. Yeah, it's not fun. And then Jonathan's going Miami Edison, and Mark Elliott Cannon. Mark Cannon says, there's our friend Mark Cannon there, and he says 2 live crew. There you go. I even see the thumbs up coming from Irish Bill. All right, so let's take a 2-minute water break. Reno's going to go take a bit of a break. Oh, he's got what do you got there, Reno? Is that some Japanese or Chinese drink?
Yes, it is. Switching it up tonight, all. Switching it up.
And Irish Bill's got his drink on, and I'm going to go ahead and pop Irish Bill on real quick. Irish Bill, pop that drink up there that you got there for us. He's got his water. He's got his water. All right, you see Irish Bill on the other side here. We're going to go take a 2-minute water break, and then we're going to have Irish Bill on and talk some panhandle picks here. So we'll be right back right after this here on the Drive the State show here on FortHSFootball.com and the FortHSFootball.com social media networks. All right, welcome back here to the Drive the State show here on FortHSFootball.com. And while Reno takes a quick break to eat because he had a long trip down from Boca Raton from Gainesville to Boca Raton today, I got Irish Bill on here. And if Reno gives me a cue here in the private chat to let me know, then he wants to go back on, we will bring him back on. But Irish Bill, glad to have you on. I know you were busy over the weekend here, so we were hoping to get you on during the show on Saturday, but we got you here. here because I want some panhandle analysis because too many oftentimes people tell us, yeah, we're forgotten about here, with the panhandle. So let's talk about some panhandle because the panhandle a lot there with the brackets and everything and with everything with the teams, especially. Let's start with the rural classification where it expanded this year to different types of brackets there, invitational in the state championship bracket. And how do you feel like, this is kind of, it plays to the advantage for panhandle, especially related rural football has been played out there over the years? Oh, I do not hear you, Irish Bill. For some reason, I do not have your audio. Yeah, I do not have your audio here for some reason, Irish Bill. I can see, I think you can hear me, but I cannot hear you. But if you do this, Irish Bill, call my phone, and I can actually bring you in that way through the phone through the audio that way. So I can actually do that and bring him through that way here because for some reason we don't have Irish Bill's audio, and I know there's probably a comment telling me that it's that. But if you go ahead and call my phone, I can actually bring you through the audio through my board here. And that way, because sometimes I know what happens. It's sometimes with the computer connection here that we've got here, seeing what's going on here. Let's see. Yeah. Go ahead and then. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Hold on one second here. Let me go ahead and call Irish Bill into the mixer here. All right. I think we got.
There we go.
Yes, we do. You might want to bring your volume down bring your computer volume down on your end because we're getting the feedback echo. All right. I think you can hear us. You can hear me pretty good, Irish Bill?
I can, Josh.
Awesome. All right, now we've got Irish Bill here. So now we got his thing here. And Jonathan Ferris says, hello, Irish Bill. Nice to see you again. So there you go.
Jonathan's a good dude. He's followed high school sports up here for a while.
No, absolutely. Let's talk about this. As I was getting the question of rural classification, I think you probably heard my question on what I was talking about with the rural classification, the expansion, 2 different brackets this year. You got the state championship bracket, plus you have the rural invitational bracket, which is teams that, had the option of opting in if they didn't make the first 16 teams into that state championship bracket. How do you feel about this? And, especially for the teams in the Panhandle, the way the growth of rural football has happened over the years.
I like it, the invitational. How has it been taken statewide, though? Are teams opting in or out?
Some teams are kind of like sitting there and they're kind of like looking at it, and some teams are opted in. Oh, we're still getting some feedback here, so I don't know if it's your computer audio still. Let me see. Trying to see if I can get it there. Is
that better?
That's better now. Yes. So the teams and some teams have said here it's. No, Winston, I don't. That's not my hard drive. This is people thinking about a hard drive here, but honestly, it's really interesting. Some people feel like the travel is going to be the big part there. They're talking especially like Chipley making the long trip to Pahokee, reverse for Moorhaven coming to Madison County, Fort White making the drive all the way over to coming over all the way over to Jay. Some people are kind of like mixed about it because they wish it was still like the regional brackets, the way it's been over the years. And but that's what the statewide perspective has kind of been right now. It's kind of mixed. But for y'all, what did the people saying in the Panhandle about this? Is the way the seating went this year? What you've been able to gather so far.
Well, I think the seating came out right. Madison County, of course, they play everybody. It doesn't really matter where they're seated. Over here, Cottondale has had a great year. I was surprised that they were seated number 8. I mean, they're unbeaten. They've had a great season with Joe Carey and Garrett there at running back. He's had an awesome season. You're looking over at Jay. Jay's just been solid all year long. And they're only lost to a team out of Alabama. But it's been Chipley, though, 7.5-hour trip to Pahokee. That's going to be a long bus ride.
No, absolutely. That is going to be a long bus ride over there for those 2 teams there. And I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I mean, for Jay, the season for Jay, for these teams like Jay, Cottondale, I mean, they've had historic seasons. I mean, talk about this, what these teams have done. Usually it's, we're talking about a Baker being, being like, one of the top teams, or a Bluntstown, but, like it's Baker, it's Jay and Cottondale that have won massive amount of games this year. I mean, we can even throw Acilla Christian into this conversation here, where 9-1, 10-0, just in the rural class alone. It's not that we usually hear about these guys doing that.
But I think that's what you brought up with Christian. I think that's one of the most interesting matchups in the first round. Bluntstown going to Osceola Christian. Bluntstown's had a solid year, and like I said, Osceola Christian 10-0. I think that's going to be one of the most interesting matchups in round one.
No, I agree. I think, and honestly, and I was making the picks earlier, I feel like Bluntstown's actually, because of the strength of schedule Bluntstown's play compared to Acilla Christian, I feel like those are going to be the heaviest weights. Do you feel like that's the same situation? What you're looking at is that Bluntstown might be more of the favorite in this situation just because of the strength of schedule at the end of the day?
I agree 100% with you, Josh.
No, absolutely. And let's talk about some of the other teams in this bracket here in terms of the brackets that we've got here. I mean, the Rural Invitational. I mean, have you heard anything from these teams out there so far about the Rural Invitational, these teams that are going to be playing, the continue their postseason that may have not have made it into the bracket to start with? And that if this bracket wasn't available, they would have been done. Their season would have already been done. Now they get to continue their season for one more week at least.
I think it's great for those seniors that are playing out their career in high school. And anytime you can play another game, as long as you don't have a whole lot of expense going into that game, I think it's a big deal. So I'm all for it. More football, the better for me, especially since my team's done.
No, I know this year was not the year for the Navarre Raiders. It was a struggle here, and we'll talk about that more in a moment here with Navarre kind of missing out on the whole dance this year. They had a chance they were kind of like right into through the final week of district play there, but when we talk and looking at some of the other teams in the Panhandle, when we start to get into the bigger classification, especially starting with getting 1A, I mean, you look at Tallahassee, one team that honestly, I'll tell you this, the one team that that people don't see on the bracket this year, North Florida Christian. North Florida Christian's missing from the playoffs. They struggled this year. Instead, you got McClay, you got St. John Paul II. Those are the teams that are representing Tallahassee now in terms of the smaller schools.
That was a little bit surprised coming into the season with North Florida Christian. In fact, they struggled in the majority of their games this year to even score. I think they were shut out like 3 or 4 times this year, and by teams that you wouldn't normally think would shut out North Florida Christian.
No, you're absolutely right. But McClay almost had the district championship, but St. John Paul II got the district championship instead, and they get a rematch. I mean, when we talk about this, there's also a lot of rematches here from the regular season for a lot of these teams, and especially in the smaller schools in the Panhandle. Maybe not so much with the bigger schools because of the way the geographical region is spread out, but I mean, do you like this with the rematches being there in the first round instead of potentially later on in the playoffs? It kind of keeps teams closer to home.
Most definitely, because like I said, you want to keep on playing, you got to keep on winning no matter who you're playing.
No, absolutely. And let's talk about this. I know when another team that surprised a lot of people out in the Panhandle, maybe not so much Gadsden County surprising people, but Mariana going 10-0. Wow. I mean, when was the last time Mariana was undefeated? I think we have to really take a deep dive in the record books to find that, because that's huge for them. And Gadsden County, their best season as a one county, one school, one high school county now. Where they're at, Gadsden County 9-1 this year, but Mariana 10-0, but they get to host, but they're a 5 seed. So I mean, it really is interesting in terms of how the Mariana Bulldogs have progressed. And what is it that you know about Mariana that you see that you have read about, understood about, just looking at them going this 10-0 run here this year?
Well, what a great job by Jack Glover there at Mariana. But they're riding the legs of Amari Clemens, 4-star running back. He's had an outstanding year for Mariana, and I think they have the chance to go away in that classification there as well. I mean, it gets tough. You start right off the bat playing Florida High. Florida High knocked off a undefeated Mosley in the last week of the season to knock Mosley out of that top seed up there in 5A. So anytime you have to play Florida High, That's a very athletic team there. But I like Mariana's chances of winning a couple of games in this playoffs.
No, absolutely here. And real quick, I have to do this while we're in the middle of the interview because we do have some breaking news actually dealing with the Class 1A bracket that is going to impact the 1A Region 1 bracket here. And that is PK Young has forfeited the game against first round game against Trinity Christian. They do not have enough players. So Trinity Christian is advancing in the 1A Region 1 bracket here. So whoever between McClay and St. John Paul II, whoever wins that game, they're going to be on the road at Trinity Christian in the regional semifinals. So I mean, wow! Talk about that real quick there. And if Reno, if you give me a thumbs up if you want to come back in, Reno, I can bring you in because we can talk about this. Yeah, all right. So there's Reno right there. I'm going to bring Reno onto the other side there. Reno,
Hey, Irish Bill.
Yes, according to Noah Ram at the Gainesville Sun, and as well as Justin Barney at the Florida the WGXT TV in Jacksonville, it is a shortage of players, from my understanding, as what is being reported here, and they are forfeiting their game here. So this definitely impacts the Panhandle in terms of the 1A teams in Region 1 here, and. Wow, what a breaking news event there to talk about real quick here. I mean, wow. Who would have thought we would have on a Tuesday afternoon? We're already having a team forfeit a game here.
Irish Bill, where was that on your bingo card?
I have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the last team, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's just shocking here in terms of that, with this. I mean, honestly, for either with McClay or St. John Paul II, I mean, could you even give either one of those teams a chance to beat Trinity Christian at this point here? I mean, just given the fact of this news now that Trinity Christian's going to have an extra week of rest here, basically not even playing a game.
Well, I think that McClay had the longest road trip all season long as they went over to Ireland to start off the season. But I think St. John Paul II has been playing really good football towards the end of the season. Of the two, I think they would have the best chance, not to say it's a great chance, but they would have the best chance to compete in that one.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So as we're here, we're talking to Irish Bill in our interview here. Breaking news again, PK Young has forfeit to Trinity Christian for the first round in the regional quarters in the 1A Region 1 bracket, which will definitely impact McClay and St. John Paul II because whoever wins that game will be at Trinity Christian next week here. And as we roll along here, Irish Bill, let's talk about this. I mean, we got some teams especially when we talk about the Panhandle bracket here. Let me get to here to roll along here. The 3A region, 3A Region 1. I mean, we've got, Pensacola Catholic's going to be in the 2A Region 1 bracket here, but I know we talked about Mariana. What they have done here, but 3A Region 1, Godby this year. Godby came out of nowhere this year and won a district championship, and that's huge for them. I mean, was that something else that kind of surprised you this year in terms of the teams in the Panhandle region getting that for what they were able to do and win the games they did to win a district championship?
I don't know if Godby really surprised me. What kind of surprised me is Wakulla dropping down to a 4 seed. They kind of struggled a little bit this year. They do have a young quarterback. I think another coach's son in the process there for the War Eagles. But a little surprised me that they dropped down like they did this year. Baker County kind of struggled a little bit this year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got a couple of questions here. We're gonna pop up for you, Irish Bill, as we go along the way here. So as we get closer to talk about this, but for a Region 1, that's another area that we've got to in terms of the teams here. For a Region 1. Talk about with what Choctaw, because Choctaw, I mean, they went up to Alabama, I think, the last week in week 11, and they won big, and that got them a number 2 seed there, and only for St. Augustine to grab the 1 seed in this region. So we may be looking at another St. Augustine Choctaw clash in that region, but. Pine Forest, 4 seed, actually having to go on the road all the way to Jacksonville to Ed White, and then you got Escambia hosting Riverside on Arnold. But out of all the teams here in this bracket, Arnold, who would have had Arnold coming in first year under Jason Griffin, year 1 at Arnold after being at Bozeman, leading Bozeman to the state semifinals last year in rural class? Arnold going 7-3 and making the playoffs in year one like that. I did not have that on my bingo card at all this year. I didn't even think they were going to be doing. I didn't even have them predict. I had them predicting finishing the bottom of their district.
Well, you had Arnold that scored a combined 9 points in 2023, and they come out flying and smoking early on. They kind of beat up on the down Bay County teams this year. One team I like to talk about, Pine Forest, a team that kind of went up and down all season long. My son Brady is the special teams coach for the Pine Forest Eagles, so he'll be making that trip over to Jacksonville this week. They got some stars. They got a young man that just committed to Ole Miss, and they should be a challenge. I don't know much about Ed White and what they've done this year.
No, but they just barely won the district against Riverside. It was a 21-20 decision there. So it really is interesting to see how that game will impact both teams. But I know as we get into the 5A and 6A brackets, there's no teams in 7A in terms out in the Panhandle. But when we look at the 5A and 6A brackets, I mean, 5A is just loaded in terms of you got Niceville, you got Mosley sitting there, and then the 6A bracket, there's Tate sitting there, there's Pace, and Pace is the interesting story, Irish Bill, because remember this time last year we were talking about Pace 8-2, and they missed because of what happened with Nice, what happened with Mosley winning district championships unexpectedly, and then booting Pace out of the top 8. This year, Pace made sure they guaranteed it with the district championship, make sure they didn't get left behind. So for Pace, do you feel like it is as they navigate the playoffs, because they're in the same region in 6A Region 1 with a team like Nice, who kind of was one of the teams that kept them out last year? Do you feel like there might be kind of a revenge tour kind of situation setting up for the Patriots here, given the fact that they know who kind of kept them out last year and on the other side of the region?
Well, I got to see them twice this year, the Pine Forest game, and then they came down to Navarre and kind of manhandled the Navarre team. I think what's going to hurt Pace in the long run, they don't have your standard drop-back quarterback. They run, as you know, Mickey Lindsay prior to Kent Smith. They all run that power pack two-man game with a running back and a quarterback that is a running back. He can throw the ball. Ben Tyner can throw the ball. But I'll tell you what Pace has this year, a lot of teams don't. They have one of the biggest and toughest offensive lines that I've seen in the Panhandle, and quite a while, led by numerous All-State Grant Wise. And they got a kid bigger than him that's about 6'7", 6'8", about 3 1/4. They are just massive on the offensive line. If you get into a run game with them, they will beat you. The problem is I don't know if they have enough to throw as they get deeper, not having a true quarterback, if they'll be able to go a very long distance.
No, absolutely. And, but let's go back in this one. Let's go talk about Mosley and Niceville. They were battling for that top seed. Niceville ends up getting it. Mosley loses to Florida High in the final week, drops into a 3 seed. But do you feel like in the way the bracket set up, and of course we got Lincoln in this bracket too in that 5A Region 1, do you feel like there's a chance that Mosley could, if depending on how Mosley plays here over the next couple of weeks, they could get that game back, get a game against Niceville once more? Or does Niceville want a rematch with Mosley, considering, this is 2 years in a row that Mosley has taken the district out from under them?
I think dropping to the 3 seed kind of hurts Mosley, because if they win their first 2, they will be heading to Niceville. You guys all know the environment at Niceville on a Friday night. You're going to get 8,000 to 9,000 people, and they're going to be on their feet the whole game. And after losing that tough one during the season, Niceville will look for revenge in that game. I wouldn't be surprised if I see Niceville slipping into the semi-state this year. But I think they're going to have to go through Lincoln as well. That's going to be a great matchup between Mosley and Lincoln, if both of those teams win. I don't know much about Mainland in the years that they've had, but I look for Lincoln and Mosley to match up in that second round. And I just like Niceville going to the Final Four in this one.
No, absolutely. And boy, we got one comment, we got a question here, and I want to ask the same question. This is from Jonathan Ferris, and it says, who in the Panhandle has the chance to advance far in the playoffs? So basically, who do you feel like has the best chance of going the deepest this year?
Well, I saw them very first week. They really put a hurting on the bar in week 1 and held them to minus yardage. for the whole game. I'm going with Pensacola Catholic. This team has 3 D1 defensive linemen. Linebacker Nigel Nelson was All-State last year. CJ Nettles, it seems like he's been running the ball over at Catholic for about the last 6 years. And they got a solid quarterback in Ryan Huff, who transferred in last year. They are deep on both sides of the ball and a huge offensive line as well. If they get the running game going, it's going to be hard to beat Catholic.
No, absolutely. And Reno, you got any final comments for Irish Bill?
Hey, I just appreciate all the insight and thanks for coming to the show. And I'm going to leave you with one more. Outside of PCC, who else do you think can make a big run overall in the state?
Let me look at I wouldn't be surprised if Choctaw didn't have to go through St. Augustine. I would say them, but we all know how tough that road is to go down to St. Augustine. But I'm looking at some of these other teams. Look for Gaston County to make a long run. That team went up to Tennessee, beat a very, very solid McCallie team. Every foe that they faced this year, it really hasn't been much of a game. And they do have the one loss, but I look for Gaston County to be that second team that could go the furthest.
No, absolutely. Wow. And I point out that one loss, Irish Bill, that was to Coffee County up in Georgia, 10-7 to former Madison County head coach Mike Coe. And yes, talk about what Mike Coe's done up there on the other side of the state line there. But Gaston County, they had Coffee up on the ropes there this year, and that speaks volumes for what Gaston County is able to do.
Hey Josh, they got another former Coach Bluntstown head coach Bo Johnson is up there at Coffee, and Bo and I stay in touch. And what a great guy! He's down about 70 or 80 pounds now. He's looking great. Both
him and Coach Coe, both of them have lost quite a bit of weight. I saw some pictures of Coach Coe just yesterday, and he looked unrecognizable to me.
Yeah, I've known Bo for a while. We used to have him on our Saturday morning radio show when I was on the radio, and I tell you, he's a great guy. Loves his kids, and he coaches them up very well.
No, absolutely. And of course, IrishBillSports.com. That's where you can find most of Irish Bill stuff at, and also on X/Twitter at IrishBill63. So that's where you can find Irish Bill's tidbits and thoughts and other musings of sports. And Irish Bill, definitely appreciate you coming on, and we'll definitely be talking to you more as during the off season and everything. And we'll hopefully with the 2025 season, we'll see if Navarre can actually kind of make a bounce back here. I know this year wasn't the year that for y'all, but I know it's sometimes those things happen. It comes and goes for teams.
Well, if I don't see you between now and Thanksgiving, I want to wish happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there watching tonight. Spend time with your families. That's what's important. But remember, football is always in the heart.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, hey, there's Coach Adron Robinson out there from Niceville. Irish Bill, a good dude. There you go. There you go.
Thanks.
No, absolutely. Well, Irish Bill, thank you so much, and you have a wonderful night.
You do the same.
All right, take care.
Thanks, Irish Bill.
All right, that was Irish Bill from Irish Bill Sports here, and definitely appreciate him joining us here on the Drive the State show and talking some Panhandle playoff teams. And got a lot of people that have been popping here on the chat here, talking to us and popping everything. But no, we got more picks to go through. Charles Bell, I see you. We have not gotten to the 5A picks. We're going to try to roll through these picks as quickly as we can here. So that's what we're going to kind of do. I'm going to have to just write them down as we go through, because trying to type and edit and do all that, we're kind of running a little behind. So
keep it easy on yourself, Josh. Keep it easy. Keep it easy.
Yeah, keep it easy. But anyways, let's kind of roll. Let me see if I got this situated here. All right, hold on. Let's see. There we go. All right, as we roll into this one, let's go into Class 2A. We haven't done 2A yet. We've done 1A. We've done rural, so we're going to kind of go into that here. Let me go ahead and bring that back up here. And there you go. You got Class 2A Region 1, Reno, Gaston County hosting Baldwin. As we just talked to Irish Bill about Gaston County, this team is just playing lights out football. I don't think there's no questions asked. I think it's Gaston County all the way in this one.
I foresee something coming soon with this one, and I am sticking with Gadsden, and I may be sticking with Gadsden through this entire bracket. So let's get through some.
No, an Irish Bill sitting there in the private chat. We're saying he's going Gaston County will go deep. So he's sitting there. He thinks Jonathan. Oh, Jonathan, you think Baldwin wins? Oh, he's going with the Jacksonville stuff. But I don't know, Jonathan. I don't know. And he's like I don't see Bulls losing, bro. But we'll see what happens here. The Bulls, Purdy's
Purdy. Yeah, he hasn't been watching the show.
Ryan Hardy says this bracket's hard. So there you go.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so Florida High going to Mariana. I'm honestly, this is one of those, it's a 4-5 matchup, but Florida High has played the strength of schedule that Mariana has not. Florida High, one of their biggest wins this year, ending Hawthorne's win streak. And I'm going with the Florida High Fighting Seminoles there. I'm taking them for the win.
No, absolutely. I'm sticking with Florida High on this one, especially how they've been playing the last few weeks coming into this final bracket of this bracket. So, yeah, Mariana 10-0. Congratulations on the 2A2 champion, but sorry, your time's over.
No. How about this one? Pensacola Catholic hosting Walton in the battle. These two teams that seem to find each other either in the regular season or in playoffs. I mean, it's bound to happen. But as you mentioned, Irish Bill, hearing that about Pensacola Catholic, honestly, to me, Pensacola Catholic is just going to run all over Walton. Walton's got a good quarterback, don't get me wrong, but Pensacola Catholic, it's the backfield for Pensacola Catholic, but that's where I'm going. Pensacola Catholic on this one.
You're getting 2 for 1 out of me on this one because I am going to go Pensacola Catholic, and Pensacola Catholic will run this bottom bracket and take out Bowls. That's just what's going to happen here. Ooh. And Pensacola Catholic will be playing Gadsden County in this final.
Wow. So Bowles will take Gadsden, and Winston James thinks Bowles will take Gadsden, but hold on here. As they say, not so fast, my friend, Lee Corso would say. Jonathan Ferris thinks Mariana wins, but close. Ryan Hardy, tough draw for the best Mariana team in a really long time. And yeah, you're right. And then Jonathan Ferris thinks Pensacola Catholic will win. Ryan Hardy thinks Walton quarterback great, but no way they win. I agree. And then we talk about Bowles, Taylor County. Good season for Taylor County. Don't get me wrong about Taylor County here. And as we roll along here, key is stopping the passing game of Walton and Wells Bettenhausen. About Pensacola Catholic, Irish Bill is right about that. But Pensacola Catholic, I feel like they're just going to be really, really tough to be to be beaten by Walton. But let's talk about Bowles, Taylor County. I mean, great season for Taylor County. You got to think about it. They went through, Hurricane Helene. Honestly, nice effort. I mean, the problem is that you couldn't beat Florida High, you couldn't beat Gadsden County in the district. I feel like those are your two biggest games that you could have tried to, had a chance in, and you didn't. Honestly, to me, Bowles is going to run Taylor County over here, unfortunately. And Irish Bill, I can see him still. He's still on the camera. We don't have him up on the screen, but I can see his head shaking. I can see his head shaking. Yes, on this one, he agrees that Bowles is going to run Taylor County over. And I think there's even some agreement here. Reno, how are you thinking on this one?
On paper, you're right. The Bulls should run through Taylor County. But again, being a Gator fan, picking the Bulls here is like saying Tennessee's going to win. I can't do it. We're going to go for the upset with Taylor County. Because like I said, even if Bulls does pass through Taylor, PCC's taking them down in the next round.
Yeah, because Bulls will have to make the long road trip out to Pensacola Catholic in that next round there. But all right, so 2A Region 2 here. Let's talk about that. Cocoa Lake Placid. I'm not even going to get into this one. It's Cocoa, baby.
That's an automatic. That's just an automatic check.
Cocoa's on to the next round. Let's just get on. I'm sorry, Lake Placid. Great that you won the district, but it was a 3-way tie. If this was RPI, you would not have been in the playoffs. I can tell you that right now because I got some sources that would tell me it would have been Tenor Rock, not Lake Placid. Stick a fork in it, as Rito would say.
Hey, 100% done. Thank you.
I mean, wow. Yeah. By the way, that last bracket, Ryan Hardy thinks Gadsden Florida High will be a war. I agree with that one. And Emery says, I feel bad for Lake Placid having to travel up to Cocoa. They'll absolutely have no chance. Cocoa is going to kill them. I agree, Emery. It's going to be a tough one. I wouldn't be surprised if there's 50, 60 points scored by Cocoa in that game, honestly. Cocoa wins big. And Winston James says, Cocoa on through all this. Yes, indeed. I feel like there's a chance that Cocoa could run this bracket. But Not so fast, my friend. Not so fast, my friend. Irish Bill is agreeing with us. He's saying Cocoa in this region. So we'll hold on that one here. But honestly, let's roll along here. Calvary Christian hosting Berkeley Prep, rematch of this district foes. Berkeley Prep. This is another point I want to make a point out of here. My sources indicate if we've been using RPI or a different playoff system, Berkeley Prep, a defending state champion, might not even make the playoffs this year. So we'll just keep at that. But this is a rematch. It's been tough sledding for both teams, honestly, in terms of the way the scheduling and how the season's gone with, two hurricanes impacting Tampa Bay this year. But I feel like Berkeley Prep, they may be prepared for this one this time around against Calvary Christian. They upset them during the regular season, but my gut, it says to go with rolling with Berkeley Prep on this one. Reno, where are you going with this?
It's a toss-up, like you said. I mean, there was already one competition, and I think Calvary may have the number ready to go, but again, Berkeley's playing to keep going, and I think they have the heart for this one.
Oh, all right. So Reno's going Berkeley Prep here, and Jonathan Ferris thinks he's going Berkeley Prep, and it says if they can defend the pass versus those Tampa teams, they have a chance. Coco been good this year versus the pass. Yeah, you're right. All right. This should have been probably potentially a spot for Ashdown. Even the Villages believes that, I think, to a certain degree, honestly. But Bradford hosting the Villages in the 2-7 slot. I don't think there's much to talk about here other than I think this is going to be Bradford's game, and it's going to be 40 to 50 points for Bradford. I don't think there's going to be any question about that. Give me Bradford at home, and we'll call it a night there on that one.
Yeah, we're setting up for the next pick on this one. So Bradford at home. Yeah,
we're setting up for the next pick for sure. And I'll bring this comment from Irish Bill in the private chat here in a moment. Here, I'll bring it up here in a moment. But this Newberry at home against Palaca, battle of the Panthers. I can tell you one thing and guarantee you for one thing on this one: the Panthers will win. It's the win.
That's
Panthers.
right.
Is it Newberry or is it Palaca? And I think I know the answer on this one. It's Newberry. Newberry blew Palaca out in the regular season. I think it's going to the same thing happen again. Palaca has not played the schedule Newberry's at. End of story.
Let's go, Coach Ed. Let's do it, baby.
Yep, I'm going rolling with Newberry because you know what? Next week it's going to be Newberry at Bradford, and Bradford would like to have that one back from the regular season, so we know that.
And we might have to be in attendance for that one, Josh. I don't know.
We might just be at that game next week when it happens. Bradford and Newberry. That's going to be a battle. Over there at David Hurst Stadium that happens. And Irish Bill says, could we get a Catholic Bradford rematch of last year's state semifinal game that went to OT? That would be a good that's a possibility depending if they both make it out of their brackets.
Hey, what we saw with the Newberry Bradford game, Irish Bill, you just hold on to your horses, buddy.
Yes, indeed. And Jonathan Ferris says Bradford wins, no question. Ask Newberry, Palaca, toss up. What? Winston, come on now.
What?
Come on.
What? Winston.
Jonathan Ferris says Newberry wins in Mark Cannon. Newberry. Yes, Newberry. Indeed. Yes, indeed. And Irish Bill says they would have to come to Pensacola this year. So, man, that you're right. Irish Bill, I agree with you, Irish Bill. That would be a long, long road trip. But all right, 2A
charter
Region
bus
3.
Fired up.
2A Region 3. I'm not even. You know what? Honestly. I'm not even gonna talk about this one much other than the defending state champions from last year. Another defending state champion. I just think Cardinal Mooney's just gonna roll over Somerset Canyons. There's no question about it. We're not even gonna talk about it here. I feel like you're going with Cardinal Mooney anyways too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, this is just formality at this point right now for them.
Yeah. Now here's the interesting thing. Next game, this 4-5 matchup: Calvary Christian Kings Academy. Kings Academy disappointed us here along the way. Here, as Jonathan Fair says, he's going Cardinal Moody. Kings Academy, I mean, they were like 7-0 and they dropped their last 3 games, and I feel like they kind of slid backwards. But they had some tough outings there in the last 3 weeks of this season here. And Calvary Christian, I feel like they've played a little bit tougher schedule. That deeper South Florida schedule has come back to help them, I feel like, in a way. And I'm going with Calvary to beat Kings Academy in this round. But where are you going with Reno on this one, this 4-5 matchup?
No, I'm with you on this one. I think Calvary is just going to come in and destroy this and just keep moving.
But Ron Saletta says, I'm not sure there's a team in 2A that can beat Mooney. Well, that's Coco. There's Coco on the other side.
Coco. That's right.
So you're going Calvary Christian as well on that one. Bishop Verot, Tarpon Springs. I feel like this could be an interesting game here. Just because Bishop Verot, we're not sure which Bishop Verot team we're going to get here, but honestly, my gut feeling leans towards Bishop Verot. But Tarpon Springs, they're back in the playoffs, and honestly, they could make some noise, but it's Bishop Verot, and honestly, after what Bishop Verot did to Glade Central for the district championship, I can't go against Bishop Verot after I did that against them against Glade Central.
Here I was thinking Verot was going to take a week off, take it easy, and do something nice, but no, they came out and showed they want to win this year. So I'm going Verot.
Yep, going Verot. And Jonathan Ferris thinks Calvary Christian. Mark Cannon going Calvary Christian. Lon Saleda says Moody destroyed Verot earlier this season, 48-21. But again, it's hard to beat the same team twice. But we could get a rematch of those two teams here in that Region 3 bracket. And but Winston James says Glade Central might have a chance on Verot. Well, there's a chance that it might get a rematch in next week. Ron Saleda says Verot going by 21 points, and Jonathan Ferris agrees. Winston James says Boney will take him again, and then Mark Cannon says Bishop Verot, Carter Smith is back, and that's the big thing. That's the big hindrance that's been for Verot. Carter Smith not being as healthy, but he's healthy at the right time. That's the big thing, and it's like Irish Bill agrees. All roads lead through Sarasota, and that's where it's going to most likely happen here. Glade Central, Lakewood. These two teams have had a playoff history with each other, but Glade Central 9-1, Lakewood. I mean, they've had some tough ins and outs here this season. My thought is I just got to go with Glade Central. I know Glade Central will be ready for this one after learning the lesson from Bishop Verot, but Reno, how you feeling here on this one?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Glades on this one. I think this is more of a warm-up test for them to get going on through the rest of the bracket. And if they depends on the wins and who they got to go through, but I think this is more of a warm-up for them.
Jonathan Ferris says, give me Glade Central. Mark Cannon's going for a Lakewood upset. And Emery Smith says Bishop Verot versus Glade Central rematch in the second round. Ooh, I like it.
I thought I was on an island.
Yeah, I like it. Y'all are pumping this up big time, guys, tonight here. All right, let's talk about what we got here. The next part of the bracket, and that's 2A Region 4, Booker T, Washington, North Miami Beach. Honestly, I think it's just going to be Booker T all the way here. So, I mean, in this one, Booker T locked up that number one spot pretty solidly. And we're not even going to talk about North Miami Beach, despite the fact they played a tough schedule. There's about to be a coaching change there, too, by the way. So, we'll just not even talk about that one, I don't think. But, Reno, you got to give me your pick.
Yeah, I'm going Booker T on this one, hands down.
Yeah, and Connor Bingham says Lakewood just played Osceola tough, but we'll see what happens. But
it's playoff season now.
Yeah, it is playoff season. It's either win or go home. Cardinal Gibbons hosting Miami Carroll City. Cardinal Gibbons a district champ, but Miami Carroll City has shown some improvement. And Larry Bluestein talked about it on the show Saturday. And honestly, I feel like Cardinal Gibbons is just not the same Cardinal Gibbons we've seen the last couple of years. And Charles Bell, I feel like you're kind of reading my mind here because I'm going with Miami Carroll City here to win. Reno, where are you going with this one?
Yeah, after a few picks and discussions over the weeks, I'm going to stick with Miami Carroll City. They've really turned it up at the end of the season here, and I'm with you. I don't think the Cardinal Gibbons is just as strong at the end of the season as they have been in the past.
Honestly, and Jonathan Ferris is going with Carroll City as well. Macula LaSalle going to Gulliver Prep. Gulliver Prep 4-6. Gulliver Prep just barely got in. District champs. That's the only way they got in was winning their district. Mm-hmm. And honestly, Macula LaSalle has just been playing some really good football. And honestly, I think it's one and done for LaSalle. For Gulliver Prep here. And I'm going with LaSalle for the win here in this one. And,
LaSalle. This is another warm-up just to kind of formality to get through. Congratulations to Gulliver Prep on their 2A 16 championship, but welcome to playoff.
No, absolutely. And Ransom Glaverglides, we have not seen in the playoffs here. As Winston James says, LaSalle, and Jonathan Versland says LaSalle. We got mostly Carroll City and LaSalle picks here already. Ransom Everglades, welcome back to the playoffs here, but honestly, I'm going to tell you something. You haven't seen this in quite a long while here. This is your first year back in the state series since covering high school football the last 15 years. When was the last time you were in the state series? I don't know when. And you drew a tough challenger and with Monsignor Pace, and Monsignor Pace is going to show you who's boss here. And I'm going with Monsignor Pace in this one here. Then send Ransom Everglades home for the season.
Experience wins, especially in round 1.
Yep, absolutely. And I think the chat is agreeing with us. And Mark Cannon says, LaSalle, Winston Jane thinks Pace versus LaSalle. Pace wins. He's predicting Monsignor Pace to win. Mark Cannon going Monsignor Pace. John Ferris going Monsignor Pace. And Pace and BTW. Oh, man, that would be fun right there. The Booker T. Washington and Monsignor Pace in a potential regional final. And Charles Bell says Monsignor Pace over Ransom Everglades. All right, let's do this. Class 3A Region 1 here. People at Bay are already like they're mad. They got a tough draw here, but again, it's scheduling, and it's at 5-5. This is tough. I mean, you win the district, and the district was weak as it is. So I mean, it was weak, and honestly, you got a tough draw. You got to go to Rains, and honestly, Rains is just going to roll, and I feel like it's just going to be it's one and done for Bay. I don't even know if there's much to talk about it there because Rains has just been playing really, really good football this year, and the chat is agreeing with me already, I think.
Yeah, I know. We'll give Bay their credit for what they've done. Great season winning the championship, but again, it's playoff, and now strength really kicks in here.
Yep. Charles Bell says Rains, Birdie Bird. There's Birdie right there. There's our Rains. There's our Rains guru right there. Rains by 35. And Jonathan Ferris thinks Rains will win big running clock, and Rains been tough all year. Winston James says Mark Cannon going Rains as well, and then you mean Swanee, not Suzanne? Charles Bell, we'll get that one. All right, Wakulla hosting Menendez, and honestly, Wakulla, as Irish Bill said, they kind of a little slip there. They're surprised by they. Irish Bill thinks Rains win states, and that's because Miami Central is not in this bracket. Yeah, that's a whole other thing there without that. But there's a team called Miami Northwestern sitting there too, so let's keep an eye out there because Miami Northwestern would like to have a word with the Rains about this potentially. So. Wakulla, Menendez making the long road trip from St. Augustine. Menendez, pretty good decent season, but honestly, at the end of the day, I like Wakulla at home. I think Scott Glees, their playoff experience, Menendez, not so much playoff experience, and I think that comes into hand for Wakulla here, which unfortunately will lead to a road trip to Rains the following week. So that's my opinion there.
No, you're right. I mean, Wakulla had that little slip, like you said, but I think they've learned from it, picked back up, and they're going to finish strong. And, they're going to get Rains, but, that's for picks next week.
No, absolutely. And you're right about that here, Reno. And with the other games here that we got Gabi and Swanee, I think Gabi will just take care of Swanee again. This is a rematch for the district here. Gabi looking pretty solid. Swanee has been up and down. You kind of wonder what you're going to get here out of Swanee each week. And honestly, I feel like Gabi is just going to win this one here. And with that, and how do you feel on this one? As I bring up some of the other picks that have been popping up here, like Charles Bell saying Wakulla over Menendez. Rains wins big. Obviously, Jonathan Vera said that. And then we got Charles Bell saying Gabi over Swanee. And then Jonathan Ferris says Wakulla. Mark Cannon's going War Eagles, Godby, and Godby. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Godby on this one. Swanee, again, congratulations on making it this far. But I just think Godby, with that number 2 selection and the strength of schedule, they're just going to roll through Swanee.
No, absolutely. Oops. Bringing up at something here, trying to figure something out here, trying to figure there we go. I got to set the music up again here. Sorry about that. Trying to bring up a something on the software here, trying to get the. I don't have to keep pressing the button here. Let me see if it'll let me do it here. Let's see if it'll keep it there. There we go. All right, got it set now. Just so I don't have to keep pressing the button on the music here. So, all right. So with that said. Bishop Kenny hosting Baker County. This one's going to be a good one. This one's going to be tight. This one's going to be fun. Keep an eye. Honestly, Bishop Kenny's had their moments here. Baker County, though, has played some interesting teams, too, along the way here. And honestly, I got that road. Yeah, I fixed it, Reno. trying to set my setting on the mixer board here, though, so I don't have to keep pressing again. But Bishop Kenny, Baker County, honestly, my opinion is this is a tough toss-up one because I feel like either
Mhm.
team could win here. But honestly, I have seen Bishop Kenny getting those first round or second round games, think they're going to have it, and boom, it just implodes on them. And honestly, I'm going Baker County here. I feel like Baker County just has a little bit more experience in terms of winning some games.
And I think I agree with you that Baker County will be the smart pick. I mean, Bishop Kenny, great record, great season, but I just think it's going to come down to grit on this one. And you take the 3 and 6 away, and this is just going to be one of those games you just have to watch to believe.
No, and Jonathan Ferris is going with Baker County as well here, and
Irish Bill's going home team.
Baker County, and I see that in the private chief. Yeah. Oh, he's going Bishop Kenny here. Okay, I like it. And Mark Cannon's going with the Crusaders. He means he's going with Bishop Kenny. So we kind of got a bit of a split here. And what's the Jinx thinks Reigns versus Gobby in the regional final? Not smart. Oh man, Mark Cannon. Man, oh man.
So it begins.
All right. Yep. So it begins. All right. So let's go in the region 2 here. Crystal River, O'Galley here. I mean, I don't even want to have to talk about O'Galley here winning this one. I mean, Crystal River, tough schedule here, but honestly, at the end of the day, I feel like for O'Galley, they played a much tougher schedule. Crystal River, no contest. O'Galley will send Crystal River back home with the L and end their season. That's just my opinion.
Your opinion matters, Josh, and your opinion is usually right. So,
all right, we got Titusville at Merritt Island. How about this? Titusville, Merritt Island and Titusville. Sorry, two battle of two Brevard County foes. They know each other very well. It's going to be a tight and tough ball game. I mean, honestly, you could flip a coin and take the pick, but honestly, I feel like this one, I'm rolling with Merritt Island for this one. Where are you going with this one, Reno?
I think I'm against you, and I'm going to go home field with Titusville on this one.
All right. Well, as Mark Cannon and Jonathan Ferris says, O'Galley, Mark Cannon is actually going with the Merritt Island upset. And Winston James thinks Bishop Moore in this region, which we will talk about Bishop Moore in a moment here. And Josh agrees with me.
Told you it matters, Josh. Told you.
Oh, yes, indeed. And Irish Bill says, O'Galley took a beating at the hands of Lincoln late in the season. Not much competition in the upper part of this bracket. And I agree with you. That was a telltale sign right there. But I just think that they'll take care of business against Crystal River without issue. But Bishop Moore, Eastside getting ended up losing the district championship when they lost to South Sumner in Thursday night, and got them settled with a 7 seed. Honestly, Bishop Moore should take care of Eastside. Thanks for playing Eastside, but I'm rolling with Bishop Moore here.
Bishop Moore should be the one on paper that wins this, but I'm going to go with the home team, and I'm just going to pick Eastside because any given Friday night.
Yeah, you're going with the East Side, who will be on the road. So hey, we'll see what happens here. But all right, you hear Reno? He's going against the grain, taking the Gainesville team here in this one here. And as we see what's coming up, Jonathan Ferris says Bishop Moore, and Connor Binkin thinks Mount Dora is dark horse. Let's talk about Mount Dora here for a moment here because they are on the road at Dunellen. Mount Dora has not been in the playoffs in over a decade. But Dunellen, I feel like Dunellen's experience here is going to be coming to play, and that's where I am rolling with Dunellen for the win over Mount Dora. Reno, how are you feeling this one here as Mark Cannon is saying Bishop Moore and Mount Dora, dark horse in the region from Connor Beacon. And Winston James thinks he's calling you out, Reno.
Hey, Winston, I have an island, and it's called Island Reno, and I sit on it very often during this show. So.
Jonathan Ferris says Dunellen wins. Mark Cannon says Dunellen, you better recognize. Uh-oh. Where are you going, Reno, with this one? Dunellen or Mount Dora?
You know, this is one of those ones we would say the shoe flip would choose, right? But I'm going to stick to our area, and I'm going to say Dunellen pulls it out.
Okay, so you're going Dunellen here. All right, so you hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Dunellen for the win, and he thinks Mount Dora is going to go down, and the Bishop. He thinks Mount Dora is going to beat Dunellen. Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. And Irish Bill says Bishop. It just means more. I love that play on the SEC, Irish Bill. I love it. Yes. Coach CFAT thinks O'Galley. Okay.
All right, Coach. Coach. I like the coach's picks. It's a different perspective. I like when they get in here.
All right, let's roll into Class 3A Region 3, where this is probably the weakest bracket of all brackets in this entire state here. Emory Smith's bracket here, sitting here in this one here. Not sure why it stopped on me because I had it on repeat there. Replay. Let's make sure that it stays there. Yes, please. All right. Jefferson hosting Hudson. Hudson, they won their District 3 games they needed to win. They won their District 3. That's the only games they won this year. A district that was pretty weak, honestly. And I'm rolling with Jefferson, who just looks much more impressive this year. And I just think it'll be no contest against Hudson, honestly. I know some people say not to write off Hudson's 3-7 record, but honestly, I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm just not there. But before we get to Reno's pick, Dora was up in the Bishop Moore game in fourth quarter season. Okay, we'll have to see what happens here. But Reno, who are you thinking in this one?
I'm going to stick with Jefferson. They had a tremendous season. There's really nothing you can complain about. Again, Hudson, congratulations, but this is where your night ends.
Nope, absolutely. All right, Mark Cannon going Dragons here. Jefferson, Winston James going Jefferson, been the class of Tampa this year. Well, I mean, that you're kind of right in that neighborhood. And Jonathan Veras is going with Jefferson as well. Might be them and Booker in the regional final. That is a possibility. And Jonathan Veras says, great pick, Reno.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you.
No, absolutely. Jefferson, Booker, Mulberry roll in the first round. Connor Binkin, that's what he's saying. Chamberlain and Boca Ciega. Well, Chamberlain is much improved this year, 7-3. They were not a playoff team last year. Boca Ciega looks pretty good. It's been a bit of an improvement there for Boca Ciega, but Chamberlain, a very impressive improvement, and that's where I want to take Chamberlain in this one and move on to the next round and get a rematch with Jefferson. And that Chamberlain. And by the way, Chamberlain, they are the Chamberlain Storm, not the Chiefs anymore. The mascot changed last school year. So Chamberlain, the Chamberlain Storm, not the Chamberlain Chiefs, is we all knew it. And that's where Mark Elliott says that the Storm, that's Chiefs for Reno.
Not going to let me live that down, are you? But that's okay.
I knew where the comment was going. And Jonathan Veras says, Chamberlain, where are you going with this one, Reno?
I think on this one, it's going to have to be Chamberlain. I mean, Boca just that 5-5, just it wasn't very impressive 5 wins. So Chamberlain's been kind of on the roll. We're going to stick with him.
No, absolutely. So you hear he's going with Chamberlain on this one here as we roll along here. How about this one, Booker at Hardy? Not sure where Emory Smith is at for this one, but I know Emory is probably going to expect this out of us, but I'm going Booker here. I just don't know that Hardy is going to have it in them to be able to win this game, considering they don't really throw the ball. Oh, there it is.
No, there it is.
There he is. He said Hardy was very unlucky when Mulberry dropped 2 spots in the final rankings and Booker moved up 1 spot. Many here were hoping for a Mulberry rematch. I think Booker will kill us, and I wouldn't be surprised if they run and clock us, but I hope we give it our all. There you go. Yeah. Well, I think Emory was ready for that pick because it came in right on time.
Well, on paper, I'm picking Booker on paper, but if I had $100, I might put it somewhere else just for the upset because I have to agree with Emory.
Yeah, and Mark Cannon says Booker offense too much, and Jonathan's going Booker, so we're pretty much rolling with Booker here in terms of this game here. And then Mulberry hosting Nature Coast, and Nature Coast has been. Yeah, it's been like a line, yo, up and down roller coaster. And honestly, just give me Mulberry for the win.
Yeah.
Give me Mulberry. I think they'll be on the next round, and Booker will take care of them after that, probably.
Yep, I agree with you on that one, 100%.
Phosphate Bowl will be Rocky Mulberry. Mark Cannon. Phosphate Bowl, yes. Mulberry, right in the middle of phosphate land. And Jonathan Ferris says Mulberry as well. So, all right. Let's roll on to Region 4. Well, let me just tell you this. I think this is Miami North Washington's region to lose. Let's talk about that one. And I bring up here, and it says put it in the bank. Michael, hey, you earn a little interest on that. Put it in the bank, like Reno. He's telling you that.
Yep, I see it.
And by the way, Emery Smith says real quick before we go on the Region 4, I think Booker and Jefferson in the regional finals in Region 3. But let's talk about Miami North Washington. Barron Collier, they're into the playoffs here just thanks because of Miami Central forfeiting all those games. And that means everybody moved up a spot basically, and Barron Collier got in. And honestly, Barron Collier, meet Teddy Bridgewater because Miami North Washington's going to win, I think.
Yeah, there's no discussion. Yeah, there's no discussion to have. So,
yeah, I think it's going to be no discussion here. And Jonathan Ferris says Miami North Washington, and Mark Cannon says Teddy Bridgewater. He takes the fight in Teddy Bridgewater's for the win, and I like that. All right, Lele and Miami Jackson battle team. I mean, this one's a coin toss. Miami Jackson. Honestly, I think like Miami Jackson. Strength of schedule is going to come into play here against Lele here, and I think Miami Jackson actually will be one of those teams that's actually going to win here and move on with a losing record here, and that's where I'm thinking because Max Edwards, the head coach who used to be at Miami North Washington, he wants a matchup against his old program here, and honestly, I feel like this is going to be Miami Jackson's night. What do you think?
I think I'm going to go with the home team on this one. I think they've have a little bit more experience from those 4 losses they got, and with them being at home, they have a better chance against Miami Jackson.
Wow. Okay, let's roll that here as a thing. So we're going opposite here. Jonathan Ferris says Miami Jackson. Mark Cannon is going with Miami Jackson. Connor Beacon thinks Lele can score a lot, beats Jackson by 3 scores, but I feel like the Miami-Dade schedule is going to come into play here, and that's going to help with for Miami Jackson against Lele here. All right, now this one's real interesting here. Key West at Tommy Roberts Memorial Stadium in the Key West in the heart of Conch Nation will be hosting Estero. Yes, Estero will be making a 5.5 hour to 6 hour bus trip down to Key West. Yes, you hear that, 5.5 to 6 hour bus trip. Yes. You got to account for the Alligator Alley. You got to account for I-75. You got to account for the Florida Turnpike. Then you have to pray and hope there ain't an accident on US 1 between Homestead and Key West.
You might as well take a boat, is what I say. But hey,
you might as well get an airplane and fly from out of Southwest Florida International and fly into Key West International. That is my thought. But we will see
now.
Leave now. Leave now. Beat the traffic. Honestly, man, oh man. Honestly, I feel like for Estero, it's the long bus ride. Honestly, and honestly, this is not a situation where I feel like Estero can break this up and stay overnight somewhere going down to the Keys, because we know lodging in Key and down in the Florida Keys, it would be the upper Keys, the middle part of the Keys, or the lower Keys. Lodging is expensive in the Keys. All right. And it's tourist season 365 days a year down there. So with that said, I am rolling Key West here for a big playoff win here to start the playoffs for the Conchs here. And honestly, what are you thinking, Reno, here as I pull up the picks from other people that have pulled this up here, like Jackson better than Lele from Winston James here, and Estero wins. He thinks Estero actually will go to Key West and win. Wow.
You get enough sleep on the bus, you might have a chance. We'll see. I'm going Key West.
Jonathan Veras has got Key West. Treat it like a vacation. Estero wins. Okay. But this one's gonna be funny, Reno. The one I'm gonna pull up from Mark Cannon. The Conchs, because they play here. Oh my gosh! There's never a dull moment here.
As long as I got my lime and my coconut, it's all good.
Yes, and I'm not a key lime person, but go ahead and just serve up a slice of key lime pie while we're at it.
Right, that's what's going to happen on the sideline of this game. It's just going to be pie served.
Key West run game too much, Connor Beacon says. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they get to
Wow.
practice running into the wind. Of course, the run game's going to be too much. All the storms they got great practice.
All right, let's roll into Class 4A Region 1. Got Columbia at St. Augustine rematch. These teams would have liked to have had week one sitting. They would have had that game before Hurricane, I believe Hurricane, I want to say Hurricane Helena. I don't think, maybe it was Belton. Either way, if they known that this game, they were going to, the season was going to be, extended by a week, they would have played week 12, but Columbia gets that rematch. They get in, honestly, but I feel like St. Augustine for the W here, just because St. Augustine's just too good here, in my opinion. And I mean, they've got multiple Division I guys on the roster, and that's the reason why I go with it.
I want to pick Columbia, but St. Augustine is just going to run through it.
By the way, real quick, Emory Smith thinks Miami Northwestern will win Class 3. Miami Central forfeiting all those games really helped give Miami Northwestern the path to the state title game. And the way we're supposed to expecting maybe potentially a Miami Central versus Miami Northwestern matchup in the regional final, and we're not getting that. But on to the picks here. As you heard Reno say, St. Augustine, Mark Cannon's going St. Augustine, Jonathan's going St. Augustine. Region 1 is tough in 4A Region 1. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
And Pine Forest and St. Augustine, the Eagles will have to go to Jacksonville and St. Augustine back-to-back weeks. For Pine Forest, that would be tough here, having to beat Ed White and then beat St. Augustine. That would have to be tough. That's a tough out there. And as we roll along here, Ryan Hardy thinks St. Augustine versus Choctaw, so he's already taken the bracket prediction here on this one. So Pine Forest, we're going to have to see. But Pine Forest, Ed White, honestly, Pine Forest, I feel like they played a little bit tougher schedule, but the long road trip question, I question the long road trip here. I'm rolling with Ed White in this one just because of the long road trip situation for Pine Forest.
Same here. I'm going with Ed White.
And it's Jonathan Ferris. He's going Ed White as well here. So we'll see what happens there in that one here. And as we roll along here, Choctaw Arnold. Arnold, nice season for y'all, 7-3, but Choctaw is a whole tough one. And as Irish Bill says, go Panhandle football. Choctaw Arnold. I gotta roll with the fighting Frank Beasley's here on this one. Arnold's going to get learn a little bit of lesson about postseason football and take that in stride and take that into 2025.
Yep, this is the pick that's setting up for the next pick too. Like I said, but Choctaw is going to be the way that goes on this one. Choctaw.
Jonathan's going Choctaw as well. Escambia, Riverside. Riverside's got to make the long road trip out to Pensacola, and Escambia's been playing some really, really good football here. And as Mark Cannon says, Beasley, he's going with the fighting Frank Beasley's here. I'm going with this one in the 3-6 matchup. I'm going Escambia.
Yeah, like I said, this was a setup here. I'm more looking forward to next week's game with Choctaw, however you say their name. I love it. Choctaw and Escambia. I think that's going to be a great matchup for wrapping up this bracket over here.
Yeah, Mark Cannon going with Escambia as well here. And Winston James says Escambia might take Choctaw. We'll have to see here. And Jonathan Ferris going Escambia as well. Let's roll into our next one here. 4A Region 2. I'm not even going to talk about this one because I think it's just going to be hey, Lacance had a nice season, 6-4, great improvement there. But you got an unfortunate draw with Jones, and Jones has just been whoever they face, they've been putting them on. Basically, they've just been taking them one out each week, and I don't think there's going to be any other question. I'm going Jones all the way on this one, that 1A matchup.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Jones too, and just to kind of give you my guess, I think Jones runs this one all the way through to the end.
No, absolutely. And Mark Cannon going Jones as well. I think Jones is going to be really rocking, potentially on a run for a state championship run here. And break soon. Yeah, we'll take a break here soon in a couple minutes here. We'll do this 4A Region 2, and then we'll kind of finish. We'll come back and we'll do the rest of this here and take a water break here in a moment here. How about this one? Zephyr Hills Rockledge. Rockledge, Zephyr Hills. This is a toss-up, but part of me says I want to take Zephyr Hills in this one just because Rockledge has got to make the drive across I-4 in order to play this game.
This is one of the ones where I wish I could just teleport around and just kind of watch some highlights live because it's going to be a great matchup, great competition. But I'm with you. I think Zephyr Hills, they've earned that 4 spot this year, and that's why they're there, and they can move on to the next to lose the Jones.
And Mark Cannon, yes, and Mark Cannon says Rockledge head coach suspended. We don't know what the story is because it's been kind of hush. So, and that was the reason why he ended up. big reason why the barbecue bowl was not in their favor at all either. So we'll see what happens there. But I feel like Vanguard, I mean, Zephyr Hills will win that game. I feel like it. But next matchup, Vanguard Leesburg. Vanguard took care of Leesburg in the regular season. I think Vanguard, they're kind of hitting their stride here. And honestly, I just don't see Leesburg challenging them too much. I mean, I know that honestly, I feel like I gotta stick with Edwin Farmer here on this one.
A lot of people don't know I'm a Marion County boy. That's where I was born and raised for many years. So I know about Vanguard. I know about the history of them, and I have a place in my heart. And I'm excited to see that they're 9-1 again. They won their champion in their district. So I'm picking them on this one for sure because I think they've had a great season, and I think they can keep pushing. And
yes, Connor Bacon. Yeah, it was a one-score game, but I feel like Vanguard may be hitting a little bit of their stride. Usually, that's where they kind of peak at during. They start to peak right towards playoff time, and I just don't know if Leesburg's going to have it there, and especially the fact that Southlake got Leesburg there at the end of the season there. So that's where I'm kind of thinking. Mark Cannon was going to Zephyr Hills, and he said, "Finally, not so fast, my friend." He thinks Rockridge will beat Zephyr Hills. Okay,
all right.
Bear's going Vanguard, and Mark Cannon's going Vanguard. So. An Irish Bill says the football coach on administrative leave and will not be coaching. Oh, wow. Yeah, so there you go. Yep. An Irish Bill called this bracket the Jones Invitational.
Yeah, right.
And he said, "Hope Leesburg doesn't break Reno's heart." Oh, boy. Well, we'll see what happens there. But let's take a 2-minute water break here as we wrap it up. As we're going to wrap up the rest of the bracket, let's take a 2-minute water break, get some water, reset a little bit, and then we'll come back, finish up 4A, do 5A, 6A, and 7A. Reno's got a strawberry drink, and I've got a bottle of water. So we'll roll through this pretty quickly here. We're going to take a 2-minute water break here, and then we'll be right back here, right here on the Drive the State show. We'll be right back right after this. All right, welcome back here to the Drive the State show here as Reno has been on the road all day. So forgive him because he's having to eat and drink and all that. We know, hey, I have to do the same thing sometimes too. So just hey, we all work for a living here. We're all trying to do our best here and everything with that. But let's kind of bring that music back in here. Yes, indeed. Let's go. Let's go. All right, 4A Region 3. I don't even think I want to talk about this one. Port Charlotte's just going to roll South Fort Myers, in my opinion, here, and that's going to be all she wrote there. And Port Charlotte took care of South Fort Myers in the regular season. They'll do the same thing here again. The only reason South Fort Myers got in is because they're tough strength of schedule, and you can thank You can thank Port Charlotte, you can thank Naples, you can thank Dunbar for going all three of those teams 8-2, and that's the only reason why they're in. So, and Emery Smith says he's going Port Charlotte Pirates for the win. Think there's a very good chance for a rematch with Naples in the regional finals, and that could be really, really interesting there. Indeed. And by the way, did we? Let me go back real quick here. Did we do Lake Wells, New Smyrna? We did not. Real quick, I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't realize we skipped that
missed
one.
it. We missed that one real quick. Because Jonathan Ferris kind of popped that up real quick. But Lake Wells, New Smyrna. I'm going Lake Wells on that one. By the way, so
yeah, I'm going to stick with you, Lake Wells, on that one.
But Jonathan Ferris thinks New Smyrna Beach will win that one. So, but he's going Port Charlotte in our other pick there. So, all right, not to miss another pick here. Let's roll around. Clearwater, Jesuit, these two teams have got some history with each other, both district champs here. But I honestly, this is a toss-up game. But my gut feeling says to roll with Jesuit in this one, actually. So I feel like, yeah.
Let's see a battle of offenses. I'll go Clearwater.
Ooh, okay. All right. With that said, Naples at River Ridge. River Ridge hasn't played the schedule Naples has. Give me Naples.
Naples all the way on this one.
Yeah, that's the Dunbar, St. Petersburg. I'm going to same comment here. Dunbar's played the schedule that St. Petersburg has not. Give me Dunbar in this situation here, and we'll just call it in the story on that bracket, because honestly, Port Charlotte will take care of whoever wins between Clearwater and Jesuit, but that Naples Dunbar rematch will be a really good regional semifinals rematch. I will be honest with you, because that was an overtime game, 21-20 in favor of Naples there. Yeah, and as the comments are popping up here. Jonathan Ferris says, I'll take Jesuit. Close. And Mark Cannon says, I'll be at Clearwater, Jesuit, Clearwater talent versus Jesuit coaching, and that's where I take Jesuit with the coaching. I agree with you, Mark Cannon, on that one. Naples will make the finals over the team hard to stop. Well, we'll see what happens there. And Jonathan Ferris going Naples, Mark Cannon going Naples, Jonathan going Dunbar, and so is Mark Cannon. So there's a 4A Region 3. Let's go to 4A Region 4. American Heritage, I just think they'll take care of business against Simpson Beach. Just give me AHP and with about 14 points there somewhere to spare. And
agreed.
Rita's going the same way here. John Carroll, Dillard. Okay, John Carroll got the 4 seed 10-0. Dillard for 8-2. But I feel like Dillard, honestly, for me, I'm sorry, John Carroll. I feel like Dillard has a little bit more experience here, especially dealing with this bracket here, especially dealing with these teams that are going to be part of this bracket. Because honestly, I'll tell you this: John Carroll wins. They're going to have to face American Heritage anyways the next week, and it's just going to be all over from there. But I got to go roll Dillard here in that situation. While Jonathan Ferris says American Heritage, Mark Cannon, Dillard, Jonathan Dillard, Reno. Where are you rolling with this one on this one?
Dillard, the numbers don't do justice on this one. It's Dillard all the way.
All right. And Irish Bill says American Heritage. So he's thinking American Heritage will get to the regional finals. But let's talk about Miami Norland and Hialeah. Ooh, it's been a district championship. But Norland would have been the 1 seed in the district champion had they not had to forfeit one game. But
right.
I'm just going Norland here. There's no other questions here. Norland will take care of business against Hialeah. No issues here, I think, in my opinion.
I mean, good teams in this bracket, but you're right. It's just Norland's just going to keep rolling.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that. Norland keeps rolling. Plantation hosting Archbishop McCarthy. Honestly, Plantation, Archbishop McCarthy. Honestly, in my opinion, there's no contest here. I think Plantation will play. Plantation, I think it will just win and move on, and then face Miami Norland in the regional semifinals. That's what my gut tells me right there.
And I agree with you, because that's the real pick right there. You know, who wins in that next round. So.
And Irish Bills, like Norland and AHP, pass both lead to the regional final. So there you go. All right, there's some picks sitting here, popping up here, and Mark Cannon's going Norland. Winston James says Dillard got a chance. Jonathan Ferris says Miami Norland rolls. Connor Binkin, Norland. Winston James says Norland versus Plantation round 2. And Plantation for Mark Cannon. Jonathan Ferris going Plantation, and Winston James going Plantation. So it's pretty easy pickings there in that 4A Region 4 bracket. Let's go to 5A Region 1. Oh, my alma mater here. Hello, Middleburg. Nice 3rd year in a row that you're in the playoffs, but
You're playing
You
Niceville.
got Niceville, where it is going to be 90% Eagles fans, maybe 95% Niceville fans, 5% Middleburg. Yeah, nice trip, long road trip for you, but the postseason will be a one and done situation for the third year in a row. As I am taking Niceville. Sorry, if Middleburg somehow pulls off a big upset here at Niceville, then I'll give them mad props next week. But that's not happening. I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
We'll make you wear a princess crown if they do.
No, I'm not doing that. But I'll put a king crown on. How about that? I just can't pick against Niceville in this situation.
No.
My heart leans Middleburg, but in my thought, in knowing how this is going to roll, I have to take Niceville. And yeah. Yep. And Jonathan Fair says, I hate to do this, Josh, but I got Niceville. I know I agree with you. Mosley Niceville rematch that could possibly happen in the regional finals. And Niceville over to Harvard High School of the South. I don't think I consider my alma mater being the Harvard High School of the South. So, anyways, Ponte Vedra Beachside. Ponte Vedra won this regular season game 17-14. I'm just honestly take Ponte. I honestly I think Ponte Vedra at home, Beachside, but I got to go Ponte Vedra. I just think
Ponte Vedra all the way.
Yeah, Ponte Vedra. I mean, honestly, the coaching at the end of the day. I mean, you got Coach Duffy versus Coach Price. Coach Price, couple state. Hey, he won a state title with North Florida Christian, so I can't ignore that there. So, and I think a lot of people are saying Niceville, Beachside, Lincoln, Fleming Island. Ooh, that's Winston James's picks right there. Jonathan's going Ponte Vedra there. And Mark Cannon going Ponte Vedra as well. And then here's another one. This is about Mainland on the road at Lincoln. And Mainland, defending state champion here, started in the hole 0-5, won their last 5 games. But Lincoln, they showed O'Galley, who's boss here in the Pig Bend. And but Mainland, this is going to be a tough one. They're going to be road warriors if they want to repeat as state champions. But I think Lincoln's going to have something to say about it, because I am actually taking Lincoln on this one here for the win here on the road, as Mainland has to face this long road trip here.
I think Jonathan Ferris is right. I think Lincoln does win this by a field goal. I think it's
Jonathan's going Lincoln by field goal, and that would just be that would just be a reversal of how Mainland won the state title last year, getting St. Augustine with a field goal. And Mark Cannon says Trojans as well. So, and Irish Bill's like, adios, Middleburg. And he's like, wasn't this Beachside's first year out of independency? And yes, it was, Irish Bill. So this is their first time in playoffs in their third year as a school. So Beachside in the playoffs for the first time in program history. All right. The next pick here up for grabs here, or the next pick up for bids, I should say, like they would say on The Price is Right. Mosley hosting Fleming Island to battle 2 district champions here. And honestly, Fleming Island, a good season under Derek Cipoletti. First year there, Fleming Island as the head coach. Derek Cipoletti, very experienced as a head coach across the board. But Mosley, Tommy Joe win 9-1. I think they're kind of angry that they didn't get that 1 seed after losing to Florida High, but that's a long road trip, and I'm going Mosley there at Tommy Oliver for the win.
Yep, round 1, Mosley will just cruise on through against Fleming.
Yep, and Mark Cannon's taking Mosley as well. And let's roll in the 5A Region 2 here. Lakeland and Spoto. I'm just not even going to talk about this one. We're just going Lakeland. Because Lakeland will just take care of business. Lakeland will own this bracket here, by the way, I feel like. So I don't think there's many questions here, honestly. But Jonathan Ferris says Mosley, but wins, but close. But this game here with Lakeland, Lakeland will dominate this bracket. This bracket's Lakeland's to lose. And I feel like you're going to think the same thing, Reno.
I'm with you. No, I agree. Lakeland, and I agree with it. Even with Emery saying there, I think Lakeland is the big one to run through.
Jonathan Ferris says Lakeland, and it says, what's the James says, this is the Lakeland Invitational. The Lakeland Invitational. There you go. And I have to head to Panama City in the Bay. Have to head to Panama City in the Bay County Referee Organization. Oh boy. Yeah. All right. So the next one, Spring-State Gaither rematch. These two teams had to play Thursday night, and Gaither won that one. It's going to be a rematch 2 weeks in a row. Honestly, I'm going Gaither here. I just feel like the strength of schedule. Gaither would have been a higher seed had they not had to forfeit 2 games here. But as I bring up, Connor Bingham says Lakeland is going to the chip again, and no, they be sitting going to. As in, Mark Cannon is taking Lakeland. By the way, if you don't understand that one. So Reno, where are you going with this one? Springsteen Gaither in a rematch here.
I'm going to stick with Springstead on this one. I just feel like they have more to prove coming in at a number 4.
You think Springstead will learn the lesson from last Thursday night?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it's what happens any given game.
Well, Jonathan Ferris is going Gaither. Mark Cannon going Gaither as well. So we'll see what happens here. All right, Edgewater, East Bay. I mean, East Bay. I know there's been some comments about East Bay between our shows here, but not nice season. 7-3 at large playoff berth, but Edgewater's a whole different animal. And Eagles are going to be swooping over the Indians. It's not. I mean, the Indians are going to be hard pressed to get their bow and arrow going against the Eagles here. And honestly, I feel like Edgewater's going to win this one, Reno.
Oh, I think Edgewater's got this hands down. All the way through, champion, 1 loss. I mean, it's just another round 1 formality for them.
Yeah, and Jonathan Viz, Edgewater should win this big with a running clock, and Mark Cannon's going Edgewater as well. Tampa Bay Tech hosting Sebring in this 3-6 matchup. Sebring has had its ups and downs here, but Sebring's no pushover. But Tampa Bay Tech, honestly, I can't go against TBT and head coach Jason Roberts here to move on to the next round and get a date with Edgewater, in my opinion.
100%. Yeah, I think Tampa Bay Tech and Edgewater, that's going to be the game to watch next week in this bracket. Oh, no. Am I left alone again on the show? It's so scary when he does that to me, that he leaves me alone, and then he just sits there frozen.
There we go. Yeah, I was frozen for some of it. Get my internet popped out again here. So, all right. So, where are you thinking, Reno, here on this pick here?
I was going with Tampa Bay Tech and saying that that's going to be the win, and the game next week to watch in this bracket will be Edgewater Tampa Bay Tech.
No, absolutely. And Irish Bill, Irish Bill gone for the night. He's sitting there, but we've been sitting there. He's got to go to Bay County, but we appreciate Irish Bill again watching and joining us here. But as you heard, Reno, he's going Tampa Bay Tech. Jonathan's going Tampa Bay Tech. Connor Beacon thinks this is a coin flip, but I'm not so sure about that one. But Mark Cannon going Tech as well on this one. So, all right. Next 5A Region 3, Pinellas Park Manatee Blue Pinellas Park out in the regular season in the district. And honestly, I just don't think there's any. This is a no contest. Manatee and Jaquez Green will roll. Yes, Jaquez Green, that Gator great.
And I'm happy to see him succeeding, especially in this role here. So Manatee all the way on this one.
No, absolutely here. And Jonathan Ferris thinks Manatee wins. Yeah, Emery, and thank you. I see your comment here. I'm here, so I'm back.
Yeah, he doesn't want to leave me in charge for too long. Trust me.
Mark Cannon says, please. What? I'm not sure what he's referring to.
Please, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Immokalee, Cape Coral 4-5 matchup. This is a coin flip game. Honestly, Green used to coach at Lincoln. Yes, he was with Yusuf Shakir. Yeah, he was an assistant with Yusuf Shakir at Lincoln for a while. So, and he followed Yusuf down to Manatee, and before everything changed up. But Jaquez Green having a heck of a time there at Manatee. But Immokalee, Cape Coral, talk about 2 stories of teams that have improved. Immokalee and Cape Coral, district chance, especially Cape Coral. No one spot. You can see all Cape Coral coming out this year, and a former Florida Gator quarterback named Tyler Murphy is the head coach there at Cape Coral, and boy, this one could be really interesting. But I just my part and my feel here, I gotta go with I'm going with Immokalee on this one. I just feel like Immokalee's got something there, cooking really strong there.
No, I agree.
Mark Cannon's like, please, Manatee. That's what he was referring to. So he was talking. I figured he was taking Manatee. Yes.
Right. Gotcha. No, I think with this one, you take the 4 or 5 out of the equation. This is just one of those games you wish you could be at to see how it ends up being. It's probably going to be a defensive struggle all the way through, but I think Immokalee pulls it out.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are agreeing that Immokalee's going to win this one here. And as Mark Cannon's going to Immokalee, Jonathan Ferris is going Immokalee as well. Fort Myers, Charlotte, rematch of the two teams from a regular season, but Fort Myers won that single-handedly. And honestly, I feel like the Green Wave and Sammy Sereni's program is going to do it again here. And I'm going with the Green Wave for the win over the Fighting Terrapins. And Reno, where are you going with this one?
Going for the Wave.
Going for the
Wave. No, the Wave.
Going for the Green Wave.
Going for the Wave.
The Sam Serenis. Yes, indeed. He's going with Fort Myers. There you go. Fort Myers for the win. Riverdale, North Fort Myers. Honestly, this one's interesting because it came down North Fort Myers, and Riverdale for that district. And 5-8-11, and Fort Myers got it. But Riverdale had a heck of a season there. And honestly, I'm kind of coin flipped here because this is going to be a good matchup, a rematch from the regular season. But part of me goes, I want to go Riverdale, but part of me wants to get North Fort Myers. But gut says take Riverdale for the win.
Going with the upset. North Fort Myers here.
All right. You hear it. Winston James thinks North Fort Myers will win. Jonathan Ferris, Mark Cannon. Okay. All right. We'll have to see.
Welcome to my island.
Welcome to Reno Island. All right, 5A Region 4. Let's roll this here. I'm not even going to. Atlantic will roll Delray. Atlantic Delray will roll Mater Academy, in my opinion. I don't think that'll be. That won't be much of a contest, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
You're agreeing with me, Reno, on that one.
Totally.
Miramar,
absolutely.
Miramar and Heritage. How about this one? Miramar, Palm Bay Heritage. Honestly, I'm not sure what. This one, this one's a coin flip, but I really, honestly, I lean towards more Miramar just because the strength of schedule and the teams they have to play in South Florida versus Palm Bay Heritage having to play what they play up along the Space and Treasure Coast areas. That's just where I just lean to it. And as I pull up the picks here that we've got here,
and home. I mean, home makes a difference in this as well. So Miramar.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Miramar as well. I just think it's just easier to roll with Miramar. Jonathan Ferris rolls with Atlantic in that game. Winston James thinks Atlantic versus Ely again in the region. Ooh, that could be interesting. Mark Cannon goes with Miramar. Jonathan Ferris is going Miramar here. As we go roll along, St. Thomas Aquinas versus North Miami, and that should have fixed that. That should have been North Miami, the icon there. But honestly, it's STA. There's no question about it. North Miami, thank you for playing along. That's my feeling.
STA, real strong finish to the end of the year, and that momentum will carry on 100%.
Yep, and Winston James says St. Thomas Aquinas versus Atlantic for the regional. All right. And Jonathan Ferris says St. Thomas Aquinas in the discussion. Whoops, I took back my comment. North Miami. Oh, no, you're just kidding. I love you, Mark Cannon. Thank you so much. We know better. Blanche Ely, Coconut Creek. Well, Blanche Ely took care of business here, and Blanche Ely will take care of business again. I'm just going Blanche Ely because, honestly, that's the way it's going to roll, in my opinion. Where are you going with this one?
Rolling with my homies. I'm going to stick with Ely on this.
All right, Blanche Ely it is. Jonathan Ferris says Blanche Ely as well. And we'll pull up the other picks as we roll along here. All right. 6A Region 1, Nice Tate. I'm going Nice. Nice has just been rolling. Nice has been playing good football. Thank you for playing, Tate. Have a nice trip back to Cantonment.
Make sure you hitchhike the right direction.
Yep. And Mark Cannon says Blanche Ely. And I says, Jonathan says, I love Reno. He's so funny. Yes.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan. So, rematch, Mandarin Oakleaf. There was a rematch for the district title just a few weeks ago here, and honestly, I took Oakleaf thinking they were going to win, but Mandarin showed otherwise. And now this time, I will not make the same mistake twice. I'm going Mandarin for the win.
I'm going Mandarin too. That was just a very, very high level performance from them, and I want to see it again.
Oh, absolutely. Mark Cannon's going Blanche Ely, and Nice rolls. Jonathan Ferris thinks Nice rolls. Mark Cannon thinks Nice rolls. Coach Ron thinks Nice will be playing for a state title. Ooh, bold
okay.
pick. All right.
That's bold, Cotton. That's bold.
Mark Cannon. That's a bold move, Cotton. This is ESPN 88. Mark Cannon, Mandarin, and Jonathan Ferris, Mandarin as well. So they had to say, that's a bold move, Cotton.
Big bold.
Oh, big bold. Yes, indeed. All right. We got Buchholz Evans here sitting in that 2-7 spot. Buchholz and Evans here. So I'll tell you what, this is going to be, no one expected this one to happen for Buchholz to get a home game. But I would have gone either way here in this situation. It had been Buchholz on the road at Oviedo. If it's at home game, I'm taking Buchholz. They just played a tougher schedule, and they proved it, and they flexed that muscle right at the end of the season against Cardinal Newman for that final win of the regular season to go 7-3. And I have to go Buchholz on this one.
That Cardinal Newman game, it really showed more than just what the players have at Buchholz. It showed that the coaches are wanting to win and that they actually studied what they needed to do to accomplish that outside run and contain that quarterback, right? So I think Buchholz, not only with the players and at a number 2, I think the coaching staff will help drive them along, and they're going to play Nice in this bracket, and that's going to be the game to watch.
Oh, yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be fun for what? Sure. And right, Coach Ron says best Nice team since 05 state title team. And there was a guy named Timmy Tebow on that team, by the way. So there you go. Mark Cannon is going Buchholz per my latest intel. And Winston James says Mandra will beat Nice, I think, in the regional semifinals. Oh, he thinks okay. Buchholz wins. Jonathan's going Buchholz. And then I think it's going to be Madison County and Hawthorne again. Oh, okay. So we're going back to 1A Rural State Championship real quick. Great pick, Josh. Take the home team, and then Mandarin over Nice in the original semifinal. Oh, okay. Mandarin won't go far. Tramel Jones makes that team go, and without him, Nice will smoke. That's the problem. Tramel Jones has not been. It's been out for the season, so that has not helped. Pace Oviedo, long road trip. Go ahead and pack your bags for a 7-hour road trip. Oviedo, you got to go to Pace, but Pace will be ready for you, and they will be sending you back down I-10 and I-75 in the Florida Turnpike with an L, in my opinion, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. And well, that's how it's going to happen. I think Pace for the win.
Slow your roll, Josh. I think Oviedo wants to play Buchholz, so they're going to take down Pace just to play Buchholz.
Wow. Okay. Reno going against the grain here. Coach, no. If Middleburg makes it to state, that's because they've played through through a weaker bracket. So I that's my opinion. But has Reno picked any team that plays against the Alachua County?
I didn't pick PK.
He's right. He didn't pick PK, and we found out that breaking news. But Pace, Mark Cannon was going Pace here. Oviedo upsets. Oh, John. Oh, you got someone.
Mm-hmm.
You got somebody joining you there, Reno. So Reno Island's got a little bit down there.
We got a little storm brewing.
All right, Melbourne traveling to Armwood. There's not even discussion here. It's Armwood. Armwood's just gonna. Armwood's a candidate to make it to state this year. I just don't think it's gonna. Melbourne. Thanks for playing. End of story.
Yep.
All right, Plant hosting Bartow, 2 at-large teams here, and honestly, Bartow. I mean, Plant's played in my opinion, a little bit stronger string of the schedule. I think that comes into play here for the Plant Panthers. And last year's state semifinalists will roll along into the regional semifinals, where they will meet a rematch with Armwood in the regional semis. So that's my opinion there.
I stick with you on that too. I'm going with you on that one too. I'm going to stick with yours.
Yeah, take Plant. Yep. And as we roll along here, we've got some picks here that is popping up here. Armwood wins. Jonathan thinks that as well. Plant wins as well. And you think, Mark Cannon's going Bartow Yellow Jackets. One old school. Yeah. Plant Bartow game will be such a sneaky candidate for game of the week. Ooh, yes, indeed. I agree.
I agree with that. I
agree. Osceola versus Vieira. I'm not even going to talk about this one. Osceola is going to take care of Vieira. Vieira's lucky they even got in. So, I mean, let's just not even talk about that one. We'll just roll on. There's just no way Vieira's going to win this one. There's no chance. So, and then you got Durant and Southlake in the 3-6 matchup. This is a really good game on paper, but I also think it's going to be a really good game on field. And honestly, I know some people say take Durant. but I like what Brad Lord's doing with Southlake, and after beating Leesburg, I'm putting Durant on the upset alert here. I'm taking Southlake.
Yeah, it's funny that you chose that because that was going to be my pick as well. I think South Lake had a real good ending, and they've got the momentum to keep chugging.
I'm going Southlake here because Darner Bingham says put Durant on upset alert. Whoa, okay. Mark Cannon's going with Osceola, and Winston James thinks Armwood versus Osceola in the regional, which very much likely could happen. And Travis Gallant, I see your comment here, but Moorhaven, I think they were 5-4, I want to say, in the record here, but we did Rural. Rural was at the start of the season. It's 4-6. Actually, sorry, 4-6. So Winston James is answering that question for you. Mark Cannon's going Durant, and Jonathan Ferris says Durant. Yeah, I thought, okay, Emory Smith says, okay, Travis, they're 5-4. Okay, so Emory Smith says they were 5-4. I was correct, 5-4. So there you go. All right, South Lake for the win there against Durant and our pick here. All right, let's roll into 6A Region 3. West Boca, Steinbrenner. I'm going West Boca. I thanks for playing along, Steinbrenner, but I just don't see it here.
No, not when the number 1 and the number 8 like this. This is hands down West Boca.
Yeah, no, and it says I know I'm running like oh. Yeah, he's that thing. So Jonathan Ferris going West Boca here. 4-5 matchup. Honestly, let's talk about this 4-5 matchup. Mitchell, they should have been a higher seed in my opinion. They did beat Wiregrass Ranch to get into the play for that district championship, but they're playing Parish Community, who has not played the schedule that Mitchell I feel like maybe has, and Mitchell's got more experience playoff wise, and I'm going Mitchell here.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Mitchell on this one too. It's a smart pick. Parrish, great season, great run, but I just think Mitchell's going to be able to just keep moving.
And hold on a second. Let me pull up. Mitchell outworks Parish Community, is what Mark Cannon says. And yeah, let's see. Travis Gallant, we see your comments. We've kind of gone through some of these questions, so we're going to have to hold it on to the end here. So please be patient. We'll get to your questions right near the end of the show here. Palmetto, Largo. Largo, this one could be sneaky here because Largo could be an interesting one. Honestly, could Largo pull off an upset on Palmetto? There's a chance there, but it's tough when Largo lost that district championship to Steinbrenner 7-6. So my question is does Largo have the heart to win this game, knowing Palmetto and the schedule that Palmetto's played? Which there's been some moments there. Their one loss to Manatee, but I got to roll the dice here, and I'm going Palmetto.
Yep, I'm sticking on Palmetto on that one as well.
And our friend Mark Cannon is going Palmetto as well. All right, Wiregrass Ranch at Royal Palm Beach. Chuck Kenyon, they've done really well this year. Royal Palm Beach, massive improvement. Year 2 for Chuck Kenyon's team at Royal Palm Beach. But Wiregrass Ranch, Mark Cantor, the only game they lost to, Mitchell. Honestly, when Jonathan Veras says going Palmetto, I honestly think I got to stick with Wiregrass Ranch here. I can't go any other way right this second, despite the fact I did take Wiregrass Ranch to beat Mitchell, but nonetheless, this is Royal Palm Beach, not Mitchell. I'm taking Wiregrass Ranch.
3 weeks now, I have made one comment. The ranch is real. I'm going with Wiregrass.
Yes. Mark Cannon says Wiregrass Ranch, they start committing hundreds of yards of penalties. And you're true. You're right about that.
You ain't wrong about
that's
that.
That's the only problem. And Jonathan Ferris is going Wiregrass Ranch as well. But Winston James thinks Royal Palm Beach Wiregrass. Wow. That would be a heck of a win for a long road trip. That would be a heck of a trip for a heck of a win for a long road trip. All right, 6A Region 4 here. Miami Southbridge will take care of South Broward.
South Broward, yeah.
I mean, it's not really a contest there for that 1-8 spot. Monarch Homestead has slid down. Honestly, I feel like Homestead's run's going to come to an end here in the playoffs because they've been to the state championship 2 years in a row. But this year, it's not Homestead's time; it's Monarch's time. The Monarchs will fly away with this.
I'm going to say, I feel like Coach heard my comment, and they kind of turned the end of the season around. So I can't say anything bad, but they will fly away with this win. You're right.
No, absolutely. Jonathan Ferris going Southridge. Mark Cannon is going Homestead on this one here. And Jonathan Ferris also going with Monarch as well. And Dylan Rose Bailey, the quarterback for Wiregrass Ranch, he's like, hashtag the ranch. There you go.
The ranch. That's right. The ranch.
There you go. All right, Piper hosting Doral Academy. Honestly, Piper's just had the season they had, and honestly, I feel like Piper's just going to take this one, take care of business, and move on to the second round here. So I'm picking Piper. Where are you thinking, Reno?
No, I don't. I think Doral maybe will hang in the first half, but after that, Piper will just be too strong.
No, absolutely here, and but Mark Cannon's going Piper. Jonathan Veras is going Piper. And then let's see. We've got Billy Taggart saying Bingle Nation. So there you go. And Winston James says Southwest versus Piper Regionals, even though with West Broward's good. Well, let's talk about West Broward. West Broward hosting Flanagan. Wherever that game might be situated at, I don't think because usually sometimes West Broward hosts games at Flanagan, but I don't think they're going to play at Flanagan, not to give Flanagan a home field advantage by a situation because West Broward doesn't have a home field per se. But I'm going with West Broward. They've just been playing some really good football. Flanagan is showing some improvements, but I gotta stick with West Broward here in this one.
Yep, I'm with you on that one. I think West Broward has the advantage.
All right, Mark Cannon is going with West Broward as well. Winston James thinks West Broward is good, so I'm pulling that comment back up real quick here. All right, let's roll this real quick here. 7A Region 1, Lake Mary, DeLand. I'm just going to say Noah Grubbs will take care of DeLand and move on to the second round. That's just my opinion. DeLand's lucky they even made it into the bracket this year the way they have played. Reno?
Agreed. I'm with you, Lake Mary.
Yeah, both Mark Cannon and Jonathan Fair saying West Broward as well. So Lake Mary it is as we roll along here, trying to wrap this up here real quick here. And Don Durant says Seminole will have had 10. Well, we'll talk about Seminole here in a moment here, but we'll see what happens. All right, Jonathan Ferris going Lake Mary as well. Flagler Palm Coast, Spruce Creek. Spruce Creek gets their rematch with Flagler Palm Coast, and honestly, that was a battle here, and that's at Flagler Palm Coast. And honestly, is Spruce Creek ready for this? They beat University to make things interesting, and honestly, this one's a hard flip here for me, but I got to stick with FPC here on this one. How are you feeling?
I'm going for the upset alert. I think Spruce Creek with that win, I think they can march on. It's going to come down to the coaching on this one.
Yep, absolutely. Winston James says Lake Mary will make Lake Mary, and Mark Cannon going Spruce Creek. Wow. Okay. Seminole hosting Seminole at Creekside. So Seminole making the trip up I-95 to Creekside and St. John's, and honestly. Creekside, thanks for playing along, district champs, but you've been up and down this year. And Seminole, they're going to be healthy here as what Don Durant says. Hopefully somebody's going to go deep. Had 10 starters out the last few games of the regular season, but hey, an off week kind of helps you there. And I'm going to go with Seminole here for the win here. Reno, how you feeling?
Absolutely. Creekside's going to be looking for that stream to get back home to. So Seminole big time over this one.
All right, Mark Cannon is going with Sanford there. Jonathan Verswood's going with Flagler Palm Coast. And then he also thinks Seminole win as well. So, all right, Orange City University, Winter Park. Honestly, Winter Park gets in as a district champ. University fell to 3 seed after that loss to Spruce Creek at the end of the regular season, but they won the district championship. But end of the day, my gut tells me it's going to be University that wins this one. Winter Park, there's been kind of a up and down. I'm not sure. It's like, Winston James was talking about Little League Worsley was talking about Lake Mary been riding that good energy. So there you go. You're right, Winston. And Reno, how you feeling about this one?
I kind of feel it's a good game. We take the 3 and 6 out. It's still a really good matchup, right? The first half is going to really dictate on which way this is going to go. So at halftime, we'll have a really good understanding. But I think Winter Park can come in and pull up an upset on this one against University of Orange City. So I'm going to go with upset alert and go with Winter Park. Okay, it's going with Winter Park, and our friend Mark Cannon's going with Winter Park, and Jonathan Ferris is going University. So, all right, we're almost done here. We got several more brackets left here. Venice, Haines City. I'm not even going to talk about this. Venice will win by 60 on this one because Venice. I'm sorry, but I don't usually call for big wins like that. But Venice is just Venice, and that's all she wrote. Yep.
Newsom, Newsom and Sumner. I believe Sumner beat Newsom actually during the regular season here, and honestly, it's a rematch. It's a coin flip. It's at home, and honestly, I'm going to take actually Sumner on this one. What are you thinking?
Well, yeah, I'll go with you on this one. We'll go upset on this one because, again, this is just going to be a great game to watch. So I'll go Sumner.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you hear Reno with Sumner in that one. And as we pull up the comments, Emery Smith says Venice will kill Haines City in this game. Haines City has no chance, and I agree with you. Venice will win. Jonathan Ferris is taking Venice, and I'm on Reno Island is even. And Winston James says this is the Venice Invitational. Well, you're pretty right. And Jonathan Ferris is going Newsom, while Mark Cannon is going Sumner. So a lot of fun here so far. Plant City at Riverview. How about this? Riverview at Sarasota at Plant City. Sorry, my apologies. Plant City 8-2. Honestly, Sarasota Riverview, again, one of those ones up and down. But I like Plant City. I like what the Raiders have been doing. I got to take Plant City. And one of my favorite color combinations they have, teal and orange. I actually like that teal and orange really a lot for Plant City.
I do too, and I think they can actually pull this win over Riverview Sarasota, because they're going to be looking forward to next week is what they're really going to do. So as long as they keep their head in the game and not look too far ahead, they'll still be able to win.
Whereas Mark Cannon is predicting a Sarasota Riverview upset. So and Jonathan Ferris is going with Plant City. Now this one. We'll hit the button real too soon there. West Orange Apopka. Honestly, I'll tell you what, this one was tough here for Apopka during the regular season, and West Orange just took care of business. And I feel like that's going to be the same thing that's going to happen again. West Orange, I feel like it's just going to roll over Apopka again. And Apopka, their first losing season since the late 90s, I think like 1998. And honestly, I got to tell you, the season will come to a close for Apopka real quick here in this one. So I'm going West Orange. How you feeling, Reno?
No, I think it's going to be West Orange, but I don't think it's going to be a big blowout. I think Apopka will stay close in this game, but ultimately West Orange will take the win.
But Mark Cannon thinks Apopka is going to have revenge, but we'll see what happens because Jonathan Ferris is calling for an Apopka upset. So we'll have to see what happens.
All right, game to watch.
Yeah, game to watch for sure. All right, as we roll into this one here, here's the next one that we've got here. Palm Beach Central in Fort Pierce Central. I'm going to take Palm Beach Central. There's just no way. I feel like, honestly, there's just no way. I feel like Fort Pierce Central can win this one.
I agree. Palm Beach is just way too strong. These 1-8 matchups, it's just not fair for number 8.
No. Vero Beach, Lake Nona, 4-5 matchup, but when it comes to strength of schedule, I feel like Vero Beach has definitely had the strength of schedule here as Mark Cannon's going Palm Beach Central, and so is Jonathan Ferris. Honestly, give me Vero Beach.
Yeah, I think Vero Beach will ultimately pull this out. But just keep a close eye on Lake Nona, right? Yes, the strength of schedule hasn't been there, but they've stuck around in their games this year. So just keep an eye out. I still think Vero will win it, but Lake Nona is not going to give up easy on this one.
And Mark Cannon's going Vero Beach. Winston James thinks Vero Beach versus Dr. Phillips in the regional. And let's talk about Dr. Phillips hosting Tohopa Kaliga, who is in the playoffs for the first time ever in program history.
Woo! Congratulations.
And the Toho Tigers, they're in the playoffs, but Dr. Phillips is back to being Dr. Phillips of old, looking really, really good. Rodney Wells has really got this team going and well, and big win over Lake Mary this year. That is a big, big win for them. They're only lost to Edgewater. So for Dr. Phillips, this has been that kind of season, and give me the doctor at home.
Yep, someone called a doctor because we're going to need some medical assistance after
yes,
this game.
That's going to be, and they say it's there, and Dr. Phillips says, DP. Yes, Dr. Phillips rolls Dr. Phillips because I can't tell the other team.
That's a real good reason. I agree.
Yes, when they named that school Tohopa Kaliga, I'm like, what? How do you spell that? That was how I was at first. But anyways, next game, Jupiter Treasure Coast. All right. I know, Treasure Coast 3-6. All right. Jupiter 9-1. I get it. It's a 3-6 versus 9-1 matchup. Most of you are probably going to roll Jupiter. I get it. Nope. No, come on. Treasure Coast. I'm taking Treasure Coast because I feel like they have played the better strength of schedule. Jupiter, no contest. I'm sorry, Jupiter. Your season's done.
I agree because everyone wants to see the Dr. Phillips Jupiter matchup, but I just don't think Jupiter has what it takes to keep moving on against the Treasure Coast. And we're going to see Treasure Coast Dr. Phillips next week, hoping to see that big matchup later on against Vero.
Yep, and Winston James says Treasure Coast in the upset. Charles Bell's going Jupiter. Mark Cannon thinks Jupiter win. Wow, okay. Treasure Coast, Jonathan Ferris, and Winston James is like, amen, Josh. All right. One more bracket. Last but not least, 7A Region 4. We're here. Yes. Spanish River at Columbus. I know it's Columbus defending state champion, but honestly, they haven't played the Spanish River has not played the schedule that Columbus has, and I'll say give me Columbus here.
I would say out of all the 1-8s, this actually might be the closest 1-8 matchup, but I think Columbus takes it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I feel the same way. Winston James going Columbus as well. I know Mark Cannon probably goes Columbus anyways on this one here. Yep, he's going Explorers is what I thought here. So there you go. All right, Santa Lucia, South Dade. It's 4-5 matchups. Santa Lucia's, it's only the strength of schedule at 8-2. That's why they're in the 4, not like a 2 or a 3. Honestly, give me Santa Lucia's at home, and we'll call it a day on that one with that one. This one's probably one of the weaker brackets of any part of the state here, but Winston James thinks Santa Lucia's in an upset over South Dade. Go Chiefs. Oh, you think it's going to be an upset? But I don't know. I mean, some people think South Dade, but John Ferris is going Santa Lucia's, whereas Mark Cannon is going South Dade. And hold on. Yeah, hold on 1 second, Charles Bell. We'll get to Boca Raton here in a moment. Miami Palmetto Western. I featured this game Saturday on the show. Honestly, Larry Lustein even brought it up. I think Western and Miami Palmetto, honestly, this is going to be a battle here, and give me Western in this situation because Western will end Miami Palmetto season for the second straight year. And Western, that record, 4-6, actually should be 6-4. They're 6-4 on the field. It's because of those 2 forfeits. But Western, when it came to playing West Broward, they totally took them to task and knocked them out. And so that's why I still like they're going to do the same thing to Miami Palmetto, knock them out.
I'll stick with that too. That's a very great explanation and a good point.
And Mark Cannon says Western will rise from the ashes, and I said Winston James says Western over Palmetto, and Boca got Goldman. Lucky butts. Oh boy! And last but not least, Boca Raton and Goldman. Well, Goldman is the district champ in that district. That should have been Western's, but that's because of what happened. But Jonathan Ferris is going Western as well. But give me Boca Raton, and Goldman's season will be over here after this week.
We'll go with the local hometown hero, Boca Raton. I'm going to stick with them since I'm visiting their beautiful city tonight anyway.
No, absolutely there. And with that said, we will leave that with that, and that is all the picks. We made it through. We've got all the picks made here for the Region 1. At least next week it'll be less games, half the games that we did tonight. So there's that. We'll have that, and appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate everybody that has watched. Especially, I apologize again for the YouTube stuff. What happened there? I'm not sure what happened. Hopefully, it will not happen again. Hopefully, it was just a YouTube error. But at least we were able to keep streaming on Facebook and X/Twitter. Yes, we did it. Great show tonight, Josh. Nice show, and yes,
thanks,
we
Jonathan.
did it. Yes, we did. We did it here as we are wrapping it up here. Appreciate everybody that has joined us here. It's been a night, but Reno, first round of the playoffs, and I think I'm gonna have you, because I can't actually. I got a prior commitment that was already on the books for this week, so I will actually kind of be tracking the games actually while I'm actually kind of helping broadcast swimming state finals this week. So, but I'll be keeping an eye on all the state games going on in the playoffs this Friday night. But Reno, he'll help me out. Probably hit that Newberry game up, and I'll send my fiance probably out there too, just to kind of keep an eye on Newberry and Palaca. And Mark Cannon says thanks, Josh and Reno. And this is John. It says Reno is the man. Reno, you behave yourself in Boca. There you go. How about that?
Never. I'm never good in Boca.
Great listening to you too. Enjoy listening. Yes, it was fun, and we'll get the tally up for the last week of the week 12 picks, and then all that. And we'll bring that to you next week, and with all the picks here, we'll see how we do here. Hopefully, I'll do pretty well here. Hopefully, I'll do pretty well here. Reno, I think we had a lot of the same picks, but we had some things that'll separate us a little bit. So
yeah, there was some good. We have some good areas of discussion to talk about when it comes to these picks. So I'm excited to see how it comes through.
Oh,
I'm just
absolutely.
happy. I'm just happy for playoff season. This is the best part of football.
No, it is absolutely the best part of football. So, well, Reno, appreciate you, man, and we'll
Thank
stay
you, John.
down there in Boca. I'll keep it up here, rolling here to keep the fort up here in Gainesville holding steady. So, yep, 0-0 is on the clock here. There we go. All right, you've been watching the Drive the State show here on this Tuesday night here with all our playoff picks in the books here. We'll see you next week with the Blitz shows in the Drive the State show here next week here on FloydHSFootball.com and the FloydHSFootball.com social media networks. Good night for myself and for Reno. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
So
Al.
long.